Hello, Michelle, Athena. How y'all doing? Thank you for coming. Uh, I don't know how long I'll go tonight, but that's the same thing every live stream. It depends on how many people show up and if anybody comes up. I'm drinking root beer. I happen to be a big fan of root beer. Uh, well, for me, I got some bad news today. Uh, One of my sisters is in the hospital. This is the one I went back home in last of June to see because she just got out of the hospital with a after having a pacemaker put in. She had a heart attack. Well, now she's back in the hospital. It's not her heart this time, it's something else. Uh, so if you believe in the power of prayer, pray for my sister Ruth Ann. Uh, like I said, she's in the hospital. And she's got to have a surgery done in a few days. Uh, she's intensive care right now. So hopefully everything goes well with her. That she does well. She's been very weak, and they had to. She just went in today. They had to take her in by ambulance. Uh, so right now we're just trying to see what's going on. I'm trying. I'm looking over at my TV because I have a I have my TV hooked to the channel so I can see myself on my TV. And so if I'm distracted once in a while, that'll be the reason. I'm wanting to see how much this looks better than last week. It really looked dark and yellow last week. So if anybody was here last week wants to let me know how it looks right now. All right. All right, Athena, if you're still there, thank you for being there. If not, we'll catch you later. Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Remember now, if you want to, when more people get in, right now it'd be a little uh, silly to do it, but remember 3Ls will drop your link to your channel, or you can drop it yourself. We're gone a little live, a little early, not too early. I'm trying to set everything up, make it well, everything will be okay. Just let's see. All right, if you can hear me, make sure let me see some here. I think you can. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's what I thought. The mic is right. Uh, I'm in my living room. Uh, like I said, let me see if I could. I tried this last week. I couldn't do it. Still can't do it. I can't reach the TV. It's just not going to reach over there. I was going to show you the TV. I'd have to take this thing apart a little bit more than what I got it. I guess I could do that, but I'm not really that interested in doing it. Uh, right now, I'm just I'm waiting for somebody to say something, or I like responding to questions or talking with people. Unlike Dan, I rarely have a topic that I want to discuss. I do occasionally, but when I do, if I know it, I'll have it in the description. But hey, Cindy, you're very welcome, Cindy. I wish I could do more. Uh, I hope everything works out. Hey, Suzanne, thank you for coming. Uh, like I said, I was glad I could help some. I wish I could do more. Uh, I don't know if any of you know it or not, but Cindy's Can I tell people, Cindy, I don't want to step out of line. Uh, but Cindy had a little bit of trouble, and I tried to help out a little bit. I wish I could do more, but you know, and some people call me Triple L. Some say lazy. Some say Larry. Some say the whole thing. Whatever works for you. Uh, like I said, like I tell everybody, Larry is my real name. It's not Lawrence. My name is Larry. I use my real name for my posts. I don't care if people know my name. Uh, there's a lot of Larry Lees in this world. Okay, well, what I'm going to tell y'all, and we'll bring this up again probably later. Cindy's house was broken into, and I won't say how much, but they had a bunch of money stolen, and it was to help her husband to get a job. As you all know, well, not everybody, but those in the Philippines know that you have to pay to have a medical, you have to pay to do certain things, and they had the money set aside to start, to help him get a good job. And somebody, when the power was out, broke into their house and stole the money. I'm not going to speculate, but it makes it. I have to wonder who would go in and just get the money. How did they know the money was there? Or did they just get, Cindy get unlucky and they got lucky? I don't know. But I would be questioning that. That's me, though. But yeah, so if any of you know Sandy can help her out, she'd greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I helped a little bit, not a lot. I wish I could do more. Maybe I could do more later, but not right at the moment. So, like I said, right now I'm worried about my sister. My sister Ruth Ann. I have 4 sisters. 3 are older than me, and 1's younger. This is my second to the oldest sister. And she's had a tough life. She's had MS. Oh God, about 40 years, but it's a very slow progressive type of MS, multiple sclerosis. I think that's not what it is. It affects your muscles. A lot of people who end up in wheelchairs, not able to move much at all. She can still get around. She has to use what they call a roller. That's a walking device that has wheels on it. You can lock it in place and sit down when you get tired. She didn't always use that, but if she's going to go any distance at all, she has to use a roller. And 10 years ago, she didn't have to. I don't even think she did 5 years ago. I could be wrong. But it's getting worse. But like I said, for the first 20, 30 years, you never known she had it because she just refused to give in to it. She kept working. Even though she had a disability, she continued to work for years. She finally had to quit working because she couldn't stand up a lot. It got to her too much. So she's been retired probably about 15 years. She had to retire earlier than she wanted to. But she's a stubborn old gal. And my sister Alta, which is the 3rd oldest, she called me and told me about it today. Now, Alta and Ruth Ann live together. When I go home, I say I'm going to go home and stay with the girls. That's the girls, Alta and Ruth Ann. They have a house in North Terre Haute, which is the area I'm from. My oldest sister lives here in New York State. She lives up in Batavia. My youngest sister, the only one younger than me, she lives in Terre Haute as well. She lives in the south end of Terre Haute. Her husband, and I always visit with them when I go home if they're home as well. But I stay with the girls. They got a 3-bedroom home. It's only the 2 of them. So they got an extra bedroom, and so I'll either stay there or if a bunch of us goes home, maybe my sister and brother-in-law will stay there. And maybe we'll take turns. It depends on how long we're there. The one that's there is the shortest usually gets the hotel room, and the others will stay with the girls. But like I said, I'm waiting to hear. Like I said, she had to go in. She's in uh, intensive care unit right now, uh, and the way they're talking, excuse me, the way they're talking, it'll be a couple days, maybe 3 or 4, and then they'll do a surgery. Uh, the reason why the surgery is going to be difficult or could be bad is because of her heart. Now, like I said, her heart's not the problem, but because she's got a weak heart, that could be a problem for the surgery, but she has to have the surgery. There's not a if, ands, or buts. It's got to be done. And otherwise, so like I said, if you all believe in the power of prayer, please pray for my sister Ruth Ann and my sister Alta, because I know it's stressful on her. Hey, Jorlyn, how you doing? Thank you for coming. Like I said, I don't know how long I'll be going today, but I did get, like I said, I did get that call. That was around 9 o'clock this morning in the U.S. It had been around probably about 9:30, which would be about 9:30 at night last night for you guys in the Philippines. I got that call. And then I got another call around 5:30 or so. That's when they told me that she's going to be in intensive care for a few days before they do the surgery. So she has to have the surgery. So, like I said, if you believe in the power of prayer, pray for my sister Ruth Ann. I appreciate that. I definitely will be praying. But, we also need to pray for Cindy and her husband so they get that, can get out of the money to get help, so her husband can get a good job. That needs to be done as well. And I hate saying this, but I think that's more important for Cindy because of their age. But please pray for both. Let's get some goodwill in the world. That's what we need. The more goodwill, the better. As you can see, I still wear my Philippines hat. I still haven't decided the exact date when I'm going, or even the month I'm going yet. I'm leaning towards extending my lease 1 or 2 months, but I may change my mind. But like I said, I am going next year. Unless something drastic happens, like my health fails, I should be in the Philippines by this time next year. I don't plan on working that much longer. The earliest I could go would be April, as far as my lease and stuff goes. But I'm leaning toward waiting until May or June, maybe even July. So it lets me put back a little more money to help myself have the setup money and emergency money that I'll need if something goes wrong. But I don't know what the heck that. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing right now. I have been checking into my banking. That's one of the things you have to do before you go. You got to make sure you'll be able to get your money and have a backup plan in case something happens. So that's what I've been working on this week. I got a nephew, my oldest sister's oldest son's going to help me out, but it's going to have to be sometime when we can get together and do it, because I want him to be able to do certain things that he could do. We could do a power of attorney without being together, but that ends when I die, and I want him to be able to get into my checking accounts and take care of that kind of stuff. So we have to be together, go into the bank, and sign certain paperwork and get that done. Uh, Also, I've checked into. I want two bank accounts. I have two right now, but I'm going to be dropping one, and I'm going to be picking up what they call USAA, Federal Savings Bank. This bank will allow me to use their credit card overseas without an international charge. And if I go to the ATM over there that's not in their, uh, what do they call it, network, if I go to an ATM outside of their network, they will reimburse some of the money that the ATM will charge me. Hey, Christina, thank you for coming. So that's I haven't done that yet. I've checked into it and I've already decided that's the route I'm going. But now I got to decide. I got to find out how I can add my nephew to that account as well. Can I do it after I start the account, or do I have to do it when I start the account? And do we have to be together? That kind of stuff. So I'll be checking into that more this week. And like I said, I'm slowly starting to get things together. My passport's all taken care of because I got plenty of time left on my passport. You only have to have 6 months when you enter. I'll have a couple of years or more. Uh, Hello, Enjoy. How you doing, man? Thank you for coming. Uh, so anyway, like I said, we're getting that stuff done. Um, I haven't checked on uh, the. Oh, give me a minute now. The uh, mail, the mail thing. I know I can't just stop my mail because I'm going to be gone too long. I plan on moving over there and staying, but even if I don't, I'm going to be gone for a few months, and that's too long to just have them hold your mail. So I'll have to set up what they call a virtual mailbox. This is too far out to do that. I'll have to do that closer to probably a month or two, maybe 3 months before I leave. I'd say a couple months will probably be long enough. So I'll have to set that up, but that's not until next year. Early next year, I'll be doing that. So I have to set up the virtual mailbox. I trying to get the bank thing all fixed. The e-travel thing you do the day you travel, you can do that the day you travel. Matter of fact, I think I can probably do it right in the Philippines when I get there. I just have to do it before I go into country. Uh, so that's not a problem. You're supposed to be able to do that online on your phone. It's supposed to be a simple form. We'll get that taken care of. So that'll be done. So Hannah Jane, how you doing, Hannah Jane? Thank you for coming. Uh, so yeah, we're trying to get look at everything and decide how to go about everything. Uh, and I'm also trying to decide, like I said, exactly when I want to retire. And thank you, Hannah Jane. We appreciate that. And so we're looking at trying to get that all taken care of. And like I said, right now, uh, I'm in with the bank because I want to do the bank a lot earlier than anything else because I want to start changing that over with as soon as I can. Crystal, thank you for coming. Uh, like I said, I got one bank I want to get rid of, and that's the bank that my working checks go into. So I want to switch that over, put my working checks into the USA Bank. I'll check into the Social Security and see what it would take. Maybe, hey, Pinky Gray, thank you for coming. See what it would take to set that up into that one, and maybe use the other one for my savings. I haven't decided how we're going to go exactly with that. Uh, but yeah, I want so much money in the USA Bank, no matter what I do. I want more in there than I'm going to need per month. And what I need to set myself up over there. So that's the one I'm going to use to set everything up. So we want to get that straightened out, and we can do that fairly quickly once I know exactly what I got to do. If I can add my nephew later, uh, I will do it. They may say we have to be online together because I can do this online. And that's what I got to talk to somebody to find out if I can do it that way. Now, Pinky, with me, you just type in 3Ls. Anybody that wants to drop their link, type in 3Ls, and my Nightbot will drop your link for you. I've got my, I'll tell you in a minute. I got my TV for my Larry channel. I'm not commenting on that. There you go, Pinky. And so that's what's going on there. But yeah, we're just trying to make sure everything's going well. Oh, wait, what's that doing over there? That's what's wrong. Oh, that's my fan. I got this one thing for extension that I can plug stuff into. So we will do that. Anybody wants to come up, the link's at the top. You just click on that, and just remember you got to show your face. You can come up and talk, or tell everybody about yourself, or just say hi, or we can sit and talk, whatever. So, like I said, I enjoy talking to other people. We'll go as long as people are interested in going. Dan, most of you know Dan. He put up a video today that would be useful to anyone that's a foreigner or anybody that I'm talking about in the Philippines. Anyone that's an expat to the Philippines or any Filipina married to an expat who's never been in country in the United States. There's some good information about Social Security if they're getting their Social Security. That's some information I didn't know. And I'm thinking this looks a little better, but I don't think it's as good as I'd like it to be. But well, we got all the lights on, so it's not. I can't get it much lighter than this. Like I said, once again, I'm in my living room, and just there you go, Michelle. Give me a second. There you go. How you doing?
Sir Larry.
Thank you for coming up. Who's this one?
This is my baby.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? Are you having fun with mommy?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good. Hello.
Hello.
Now, how many do you have, Cindy? How many kids do you have?
One.
Just one. Okay. One. I
I'm
have
staying right
none.
in my parents' house.
What's that?
I'm staying right now in my parents' house.
Okay.
Because what
Probably feel
in
safe.
our,
You probably feel safer there, don't you? Because of
and
what happened?
my husband is seeking for new apartment.
Okay. Well, hopefully you get one, because I know once your place is broke into, you don't feel quite as
Yes, Sir
safe,
Larry.
you know? Yeah.
Yes.
And so I'm glad to hear you guys are doing well, and I'm glad to hear you got a safe place to be. I'm sorry I couldn't do more. I wish I could have done more, but you know, I may be able to do some more later on, but not right now. But I'll get it if I do. You know, it'll probably go through Elvie, because I have her PayPal account, so I know she's got your accounts to get it to you. So we'll do it that way, because I don't have a Gcash. I can't get Gcash here in the States. You have to be in the Philippines to get it, or overseas somewhere. You can't get it here in the States. And so, Christy says hi, Cindy.
Sir Larry?
I said Christy says hi.
Hi.
She gives
Hi
you
lang
a,
din.
a.
Hi.
Say hi na.
Hi.
There you go. Now, what's your name?
What's your name?
What's the name?
What's your name?
What's the name?
Summer.
Summer.
What is it?
Summer.
Summer?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm going to take it Summer's a girl?
Boy.
Boy?
It's two names.
Okay.
Ivan Summer.
Okay, well, no. Hey, Dan, how you doing? I got Cindy up here if you want to join us. And oh, by the way, I enjoyed that video you put up this morning about the Social Security. That was good information for people like myself. I don't know if I'll ever get married when I get over there, but it's, for people that don't have their spouses here in the state. Hey, cool. Looking good, Summer.
Thank you.
But
Okay.
yeah, so it just it's yeah. It's sad when people do stuff like that, Cindy. And like I said, it makes me wonder how they, did they know you had the money, that they stole? You got the
Hi.
plain, you got the same kind of glasses, clear.
Hi,
I
Sir
like.
Dan. Christelle.
Yeah, it's Cindy B, Dan. But so yeah, we're just talking. Like I said, I really did appreciate your video there because, like I said, I'm not going over there planning to get married, but it's good to know that if I do, I don't know how long I'd have to wait, but I'd be able to get Social Security for her. That's a good information, I think. Like I said, at my age, I don't know if I want to even. I don't even know if I'm going to date anybody. I'm an old man, and Chelsea, how you doing, Chelsea? Thank you for coming. But we're just trying to, I want to get over there and enjoy my life with my Social Security, which will allow me to live. I could not do that here. I don't even know, without government assistance, I couldn't even survive here in New York. I'd have to move anyway. No, you don't, Dan. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's good information to know because you never know what's going to happen. It's information I did not know, so it was very useful, I think. I think it was great sharing of information that a lot of expats to the Philippines could use or need to know about. And like I was saying at the start of it, I mentioned that video earlier, and I said it's a good information for the Filipinos to know too, if they're married to an expat. So well, Cindy, what it is with American expats, we get Social Security, those that are old enough, which I am. And if we have a spouse, you can get some Social Security for them. And if something happens to you, they can get what they call survivor benefits. But you have to be married for so long and all that stuff. But it's good to know that you can get that for her in the Philippines without her having to live here. Usually, when you're married to a foreign woman, depending on the country, a lot of places you have to be married for over 5 years. You got to live in the United States for over 5 years, or at least 5 years, before she's entitled to anything. And so, Philippines happen to be one of the countries where you can not live in the United States and still be entitled. So that's a good thing for the Philippines. So like I said, that was information I'd never heard before, so it was great information. Like I said, as you all know, I plan on going to the Philippines next year sometime. I haven't said exactly when. It may be as early as April, and I guess Cindy took herself down because I didn't do it. It may be as early as April and could be as late as July. I do not plan on going later than July. If you ask me right now, I'd probably say May, maybe June. Extend 1 or 2 months. But that's just so I can put more money back. And Dan, I don't know if you were here earlier. I did say I decided to go with USAA, Federal Savings Bank. You need to be connected to the government. I do believe it has to be the federal government or military. And because your kids were in the military, you might be able to go through that and get it that way with them doing it. Okay, I understand. Like I said, I was wondering why you dropped out, but that's all right. Thanks for coming up. Like I said, anybody wants to come up, they can come up. You notice how easy it is. You just click on the top, that link up the top, show your face, and I'll let you up, and we'll talk. And so, like I said, I did get some bad news today. My second to the oldest sister is back in the hospital. She's having trouble. She's very weak. Somehow she got a hole in her stomach that's letting air into her stomach area and causing her a lot of problems. So she's going to have surgery. They're getting everything stabilized. This is the one that had the heart attack that had to have the stent and the pacemaker put in. So that'll complicate some things for her. But it's going to be like 2 or 3, maybe 4 days before they do the surgery. So I'll find out more by Sister Alta, who lives with my sister Ruth Ann. She's been contacting me and my other sisters and telling us all about what's going on. This happened this morning. They took her in. So, like I said, if all of you that believe in the power of prayer, please pray for my sister Ruth Ann. Our family would appreciate it. And so, yeah, that's what's going on in my life right now that's of any importance. Like I said, this week I checked on the USAA Federal Savings Bank. I checked with the Navy Federal Credit Union. The Navy Federal Credit Union doesn't charge much if you go out of network, but the USA Savings Bank doesn't charge anything. Plus, they will reimburse up to $10 a month for ATM fees that are out of network. So that's the reason why I decided to go with them. It's the reimbursement plus no charge. As long as I use their credit card, it's not a problem, which I will use, and I'll pay it off every month. Just like I do my credit cards here, I pay them off every month when I use them. So that's something I'll be taking care of. I just got to find out how I can get my nephew added to that account, so he can, like I said, if anything happens to me, being a single man, I want somebody to get that money and not leave it in limbo, not have to worry about it being in probate and the government getting it. If his name's on there, he can get the money out and do it with it. I asked him if he would to split it among the family, which I believe he'll do. This is my oldest sister's oldest son. This is the one that was a lawyer or is a lawyer. He's not practicing now. He's retired, even though he's on a disability. But so anyway, we'll get that taken care of, and we'll get him on the other one. But we got to be together to do the other one. And that bank is down there in Florida, so maybe I'll pop down there and visit him sometime here in the near future, or whenever it's convenient for him, and get that taken care of. So like I said, we're starting to move forward. We're finally starting to do stuff. I don't want to move too fast, too forward, because the virtual mailbox, I don't think I should set that up until it's like 2, maybe 3 months before I leave. So I don't want to set that up now. That's too far in advance. That's a good 7, 8 months away. So that's just too far away. like I said, the e-travel, you do that right before you go. My passport. Uh, Not really, but I don't watch a lot of national news. I think everybody's, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of cause for tension, but I don't notice it when I'm talking with people. That's not what they're talking about. Uh, at least not where I'm at. When I'm at work, they don't talk about it. The people I know that when I'm talking with them, we don't talk about what's going on. And I do have friends from China. They've been here in the States for over 30 years. They're nationalized citizens. They're not happy with what's going on. They fully support the United States. So, I mean, they're really anti-communist. So, but like I said, no one's really talking about the tension. So I have not noticed it. I'm sure if I was around the military bases, it'd probably be a lot more of a subject. Like if I was in San Diego or down in Florida, maybe around some, maybe even there's a 10th Mountain Division. I think it's here in New York. If I was near them, probably, especially in that city, it would probably be a lot more talk about it. But where I'm at, no, I'm not hearing it. You see it on the news some, and I don't watch a lot of news because, well, I leave for work at 7:30 in the morning, so I get the local news if I'm lucky. And by the time I get home, it's after 6:30, maybe 7 o'clock even. Sometimes it's after 7 by the time I get home on the days I work. So I don't catch a lot of news that way. So you see it on YouTube, you see, but like I said, you don't really get that sense of tension from the people, at least not around me. So, like I said, I understand the seriousness of it. Remember, I am a former sailor, and I like the term former. The Marine Corps uses it all the time. I think all the branches should. I'm a former sailor, U.S. sailor. So, I do pay attention to some of the news about the military, and I do use the VA system for my medical. But even when I'm there, not a whole lot of people are talking about that. But then again, a lot of us don't sit around and talk about the news. We might talk about our time in the service. We might talk about our health. But until things get a little more serious, I don't think we'll sit around and talk about the situation. But yeah, a lot of times we will talk about our time in the service, where we were stationed at, what kind of. If you're talking with a former sailor, you'll talk about what ships you were on, what ports you visited, what places you were stationed at. Like I was in San Diego. I was also in Bremerton, Washington, and Pacific Beach, Washington. And I was at SeaTac. I was TAD to, I'm trying to remember the name of the place. I was only there for a month when it's in Tacoma. And so, you talk about those things. You really don't talk about much of anything else. At least the people I run into, that's that way. People I run into usually are older, although you do see some of the younger ones. And you do see some of them that are disabled military. Last time I was there, there was a former military guy. I don't know what branch he wasn't wearing his hat showing what he was in. But he had a part of a leg missing, but that could have been due to injury in combat. It could also be due to a disease of some type that he got. Like a lot of people that with diabetes sometimes could lose limbs. They could lose their foot or something like that. So to assume it was combat related, that would be wrong. Well, it's doing better than it was last year, and you're right, it's down a little bit. Now, for those of us on Social Security, that's actually not a bad thing because it means a bigger pay raise. But for everybody else, it's kind of a bad thing. Uh, this is the quarter. July, August, and October, I think it is the 3 months that they look at, and that's when they determine how much of a pay raise the military gets, or the Social Security. I think it might include, like I said, might include the military as well. But the Social Security is based on that 3-month period. I can't exactly tell you what the term is they use. It's the thing they judge how well the economy is doing. July, they said it was 2.5, which means if it holds at that, we'll get a 2.5% increase in our Social Security. And I believe that means the military will get their 2.5 increase in their pay. And that includes the retirement people, the retirement pay. They get a COLA every year as well, those who are retired from the military. So, and for those of you that don't know what the term COLA means, COLA, cost of living allowance. I don't believe if the COLA is zero, you may not get a cost increase, but they won't decrease you either. So that's the thing I look at, and that's one of the reasons why I want to move to the Philippines. I can live very comfortably on my Social Security there. All right, I can find a place, nice apartment. I'm not looking to buy a house. I'm a single man. Why do I want a house? I can get a 1-bedroom apartment and pay my utilities. Now, I'm not talking about everything, but I'm talking about my rent, my electric, my water, maybe my cable or internet for less than what I'm paying for my rent. So to me, that's a win. Because my rent goes up every year or every time I sign a new lease. And I got a fairly decently low rent for the area I live in. There's people that live in apartments similar to mine that pay almost double what I pay. There are newer apartments though. And people are moving in now pay a lot more than I pay because they're remodeling them and making a lot nicer apartments. And that's probably 1.5 times more than what I'm paying, if not more. So like I said, I got in here when it was still fairly reasonable rent for this area. For what I pay, I got a very, very nice apartment. It's a 1-bedroom. I got a big living room, nice sized bedroom. I got a small kitchen and a small bathroom, or CR. My living room is my living room and my dining room. My kitchen is. One of these days, I'll do a video of my apartment and show you what it looks like. But I got to get it cleaned up, and I got to get a lot of things done before I do that. I've lived here for years, and I haven't put everything out of boxes. I got a lot of stuff in my storage room. And plus, I'm a slob. I'll be honest about it. So I got to get it straightened up, and I'll do a video on it, show the whole apartment. Like I said, I got a really nice couch, a really nice recliner. My recliner has been on my internet. It's been in a live stream one time when we were doing an honor to Leonard Lund. I put one of my phones as Leonard Lund and just showed the recliner. As we had an empty because he was almost always on my live stream. And so this was honoring him into the live stream. But the living room has not been shown like it should be. Like I said, I'll have to get it all straightened up, vacuumed, and boxes thrown away, and dust it, get some dusting done. Then I'll do a video on the apartment sometime. I'll probably, knowing me, it'll be a while, but I'll do it sometime. It'll be oh yeah, I'll have a lot. Compare, yeah, I'll have a more than double what I'm, not more than double, about 1.5 times what I'm planning on spending for my uh, apartment and all that other stuff. At least that much more, and which is quite a bit of money, comparatively speaking. I want to spend. Well, I'm not going to say what I want to spend. That should stay with me. But I'll have at least that much, if not 1.5 or more, because I got a price range that I want to go into for all that stuff. Now remember, the spending money will also have to include my grocery bills. But yeah, I'll have enough money to go out and do things. I'll be able to go on some day trips, and if I watch my money right, I'll be able to take a nice little trip. Not every month, but every other month or every 2 months, to another island and visit somewhere else. So yeah, I'll have a lot better lifestyle. That's another reason. Like I said, I will be able to afford to do things on my own that I could not do here if I stayed here with my Social Security. I'd have to move to another state, and even then, yeah, I could probably survive and have money, but I wouldn't be able to take as many day trips. I wouldn't be able to take as many trips. And how safe would I feel living in those towns that I can afford? Are those states that, I may be in a state that is safe, but there's nothing there, you know? Some of these states that are fairly inexpensive have very few people, and unless you're an outdoors person and that's all you want, fishing and hunting, there's not much else to do in some of these states that I can afford to live in. And I'm not a hunter, and I don't fish. This dog don't hunt, this cat don't fish. I mean, it's just that simple. Now, I like swimming. I do like that. But I like going and seeing things. And like I said, I plan on going to Cebu. There's a lot of things you can see in Cebu and not travel that far and not spend that much money. Like I said, day trips or maybe an overnight trip. I'll be able to afford those. And I'll be able to afford, if I watch my money, which I will, to take a little longer, I want to go to Dumaguete and Valencia over in Negros. I'll be able to go over there, not every month or but I'll be able to go over there and spend a week or so over there, and see. I want to go over there for the Sunday market. I've seen a lot of videos on the Sunday market in Valencia, in Negros. I want to go see it. I want to see Dumaguete because so many vloggers are there. You see a lot about Dumaguete. I want to go to Iloilo. I want to go to Davao. And I want to go up to Manila. There's some things in Manila I want to see. I want to go to the U.S. War Cemetery there in Manila from World War II. I want to go see that cemetery. I want to go see the Venice Grand Canal Mall. I want to see that. So, there's things I would want to do. And like I said, I can't go every month somewhere, but I could probably go every other month or at least every 2 months and really enjoy myself. I'm talking about I could get a nice hotel and spend a decent amount of money if I go once in a blue moon. If I go more often, well, I'll have to cut back on the amenities. Instead of maybe a 4 or 5 star, go with a 3-star hotel. Instead of certain things, you do other things. You got to adjust as you go. And a lot of that I won't know what I can do until I get there and find out what my real budget's going to be. I know what I want my budget to be. And when I say budget, I'm talking about what it takes to live comfortably and not go anywhere. And then the money over that's what you use to go places. And my budget is going to be about the rent plus double, or that again. That's what I want my budget to be. And then whatever, I'll have if I can live on the budget I want, I'll have quite a bit of money over that I can take those trips. But we'll see. I may not be able to do it. I may have to spend more money and take fewer trips. Like I said, until I get there, until I can find what I want, I just don't know. And to say that I do would be a lie. Now, like I said, some people couldn't, according to some of the vloggers, they couldn't survive on what I'm going to be living on. Oh, you can't do that. But they got these real expensive apartments or homes they're renting. They got maybe a wife and a kid or a couple kids they're taking care of. Maybe they're helping out the wife or girlfriend's family. And like I said, it all depends. I don't want that lifestyle. I don't want a real expensive apartment. That's why I don't want a house unless I end up with somebody, a girlfriend or a wife. Why do I want a house? So like I said, it's all relative of what you think you can live on. I've had people on the internet say, well, you can live on this, but you're not going to be happy. No, you don't know if I'll be happy. We know that you won't be happy. Like I said, what I want out of life is not necessarily what the next guy wants. I know I can be happy with what I got, just how much of it do I have to spend? I think I could be happy on spending a lot less than what they do. And then that would leave me enough money to do some of the stuff they want to do. See, some of these guys, they want to be doing something every day. They want to go. They want to go out every day and eat every day out. They want to go do something every day. I want to be able to walk down to the Jollibee's or Starbucks or Bowls Coffee or McDonald's and have a cup of coffee almost every day, unless the weather's bad. I do want to be able to a few times a week go somewhere close by and do something. Maybe go to a movie, go to a site like in Cebu, there's Magellan's Cross. There's that fort there. You also got the whale sharks and stuff like that. But I don't need to do that every day or even every week. I don't need to do something like that. At least I don't think. I mean, once I get there, I may decide I want to do something every week or every other day. So that's what I'm saying. I just don't know. And that will affect what my budget will be for my life, not my living expenses, but what I have to spend to enjoy my life. And that will affect how much I can save, because I want to save money if I can for emergencies. I want to have an emergency fund already there, but you want to make it bigger if you can. One of the vloggers says, if you can save $1 every month, you're $1 better off. I'd like to save a little more than that, but he's right. If you can save $1 from your budget every month, and my budget won't be the entire amount of money I make, then I'm better off. I'm saving an extra $1 every month. Because like I said, there's a certain amount that I want to set aside that I don't spend. And yeah, if you know how to drop it, go ahead and drop it. Cindy, go right ahead. Many of you, I've already told you about Cindy's or the home that she was living in. She's now staying with her mother, was broken into, and a bunch of money was stolen. that they had set aside trying to help her husband get a better job. And so this is what's going on here. She's dropping that link. And so if any of you want to help Cindy and her family out, she's got one daughter. She's staying with her mother. And her husband's trying to find him a new apartment, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't necessarily feel safe in the same apartment after it's been broken into, especially when, you know, so. But yeah, but I did all my spending frivolously when I was younger. Believe me, I used to throw money away like no other. That's why I'm so broke now. But I'm looking at it. I'm 71. I'll be 72 next month. Okay. I don't know if you think I look it or not. Doesn't matter. That's how old I am. And I'm tired of working. I had my very first real job. I was 15 years old. And like I said, I really like root beer. Well, the very first job was at an A&W root beer stand. It was also the very first job I ever got fired from, but we won't go into that. I deserve to be fired. I'll say that. No, I didn't do anything illegal. I just lost my temper when I shouldn't have. But yeah, most people don't think I look my age. Yeah, that's true. Jaylene, how you doing, Jaylene? And so, like I said, that's just, I got to turn this off. I'm starting to plug up. Sometimes that's just the wind. I'll do it. Sometimes I get up, move around, it'll clear up. It's just the way it is. But anyway, like I said, I spent money foolishly most of my life. When I was a younger man, I'm talking about my teens and 20s. I didn't think I'd live to be an old man. I really didn't. When I was in my 20s, I had a bunch of friends who would not bet that I would live to see 30 when I was in my early 20s. I mean, I was a wild child. And I was burning the candles on both ends and trying to light the middle. I mean, I was living a very wild life. I was a very hard drinker. Did not sleep a lot. So I was a very hard partier, very hard charger. And I started slowing down in my late 20s, but I didn't really slow down until I was in my almost 50. I mean, I was in my 40s by the time I really slowed down, my mid 40s. And I smoked a pack a day or more for like 27 years. I will hit 27 years smoke free next year. It'll be 27 years in March since I quit smoking this coming March. So 26 and a half years this September, early September. And so, you know, but like I said, I really did. There was times I was smoking 2 and 3 packs a day. I would chain smoke for a long time, but so yeah, like I said, I really wasn't living a lifestyle conducive to being a growing old, and so I did not take real good care of myself, and I'm paying for that today in a lot of ways. I have arthritis in both my hands. I'm well overweight. I'm losing weight, but I used to weigh almost 70 pounds more than what I weigh right now. I still need to lose more. Well, that depends on the time frame. I smoked Camel filters, Marlboros, Winstons. I even tried Viceroys for a while. I didn't like those. Was not a menthol fan at all. If I was going to smoke a menthol, it would be Bel Air. I even smoked non-filtered cigarettes occasionally. Like I said, there again, Camel and Lucky Strikes. Didn't care for that because I always felt like I spit. Can you get some tobacco in your mouth? So you always spit it out. That's why I quit those. But Marlboros and Camel filters was the two brands that I smoked the most. Although I did go to Marlboro Lights towards the end. But yeah, like I said, I was a hard smoker. I just had a checkup Monday with my doctor, and he said, well, for a guy that smoked as much as I did, my lungs sounded in real good shape. And so, like I said, my lungs sound okay, but for a guy that smoked like I did, they're in really good shape. So, like I said, I got lucky. He asked me what was the biggest difference after I quit smoking. I said the cough. When I was smoking, if I got a cold and had a cough, it hurt. The chest just hurt towards the end. Your throat would be raw from coughing. Your chest hurt like all get out. And so about a year or two after I quit smoking, that changed. I didn't have the hard cough anymore. The chest rarely. I had to have a real bad cold or flu for the chest to hurt. And that only happened once or twice after I quit smoking. And it's been a long time since that happened. So, yeah, like I said, I smoked the unfilters. I smoked the filters. I had a friend that used to smoke Camel unfilters. And I always smoked the filters at the time. So when he'd bum a cigarette off of me, he'd pull the filter out on one end, but the paper would still be there. He'd put it in his mouth, and everybody would think he was going to light the filter, and they'd say something to him. The filter just, and then he'd light his cigarette. But the paper that where the filter was at just burned right off. he used to do that. This is the guy I ran around with in the Navy. One of my very best friends in the Navy. I had two really good friends. There was Marv and Chris. This was Chris. Now, Marv was the one who married my cousin Linda. They met through me. Marv was not a partier. Chris and I were. But Marv and I got along really well. We worked together. And he'd go out with us, and he'd have a drink or two, but that'd be all he had. Now, Chris and I were hard chargers. And, but anyway, it was always strange. Chris got out after, I think he did 4 years. It might have been 3. And then Marv was to get out after 4, but my cousin, his wife died. So he decided to stay in. So he ended up doing 7 or 8 years. I want to say 7. I think he was going to go on to do 3 originally, but it could have been 4. And so he re-enlisted for a couple more years, 2 or 3 years. Then he got out for a while and was working and decided he didn't like that. So he went back in and he did a career. So with all the guys I served with that were real good friends, he's the only one that did a career. But yeah, I thought about it, but I didn't. I'm glad I didn't because my dad died less than 2 years after I got out. Or that would have been a big regret for me. If it wasn't for that, not doing the career. But yeah, so. And yeah, I learned, matter of fact, Chris is the one that taught me how to snorkel or skin dive, whatever you want to call it, in the Philippines. He and I used to go snorkeling if we both had that Saturday off or Sunday, usually Saturday. We'd go out there's an island that was considered part of the base. We'd go out to that island and go snorkeling off the island away from the ships. And like I said, he could scuba, but he didn't have his license. So he wanted to go skin diving. And so he taught me how to do it, and I enjoyed it immensely. We go out there for a couple hours every Saturday, enjoy the water, enjoy the swimming around the ocean and looking at the fish and stuff. So, yeah, Marv tried it one time. And if you know snorkeling, you got that snorkel that comes up, then you breathe through that. Then you dive down, take a closer look, and when you come back up, you blow the air out of that snorkel. Well, he misdid that one time and choked himself, and that was it. He was done. He was afraid. Nope, that's it. I almost killed myself. I don't need to do this again. I wasn't on that diving trip, so I went the next weekend because Chris wanted to go. It's like, sure, I'll give it a whirl, and we went and had a blast. And we went every Saturday after that if we were both off, because it's safety. You should never go diving by yourself. Uh, it's a safety thing, you know. And so yeah, thanks for still being here, Michelle. We appreciate it. So yeah, I did that for all the time we were in the Philippines after I learned how to dive. Did a little snorkeling after I got out, but I'm going to tell you, lake snorkeling is not at least I'm in the mid. I was in the Midwest. Wasn't as good as ocean snorkeling, so I got away from it. I did take scuba diving lessons. Uh, Passed it. I did it to college. I passed all the exams, but I never did the open dive. Uh, so I never did get certified. That's my fault. But that's back when I was still smoking. I needed to work on my lung power a little more back then. Uh, so, and like I said, I just needed to do more underwater swimming without the just get in the pool and swim like I used to when I was younger. I used to swim underwater like a fish. I was really good underwater. So I hope to get back into that. I don't. I'll be wearing long sleeve shirts and gloves uh, when I do that kind of diving. Because, like I said, I burn too easy. Hey, Daddy, how you doing, man? Come on up. The link's at top. And don't forget to type in 3Ls, Danny. Now, Danny is one of the people that I want to see when I go to Davao. Whatever that is, I don't know how long I'll be in the Philippines before I make it to Davao. Danny's planning on retiring soon and going and living in the Philippines soon with his wife. She's already over there. They got a place there. Not in Davao, but it's outside of Davao. Jamie from Off the Cuff Adventures with Jamie, he's over in that same area, so I'd like to visit both of them sometime when I'm over there. It really is something I'd like to do. Like I said, I want to go to, I told you all earlier, I want to go to Davao. I want to go to Iloilo. I want to go to Dumaguete and Valencia there on Negros. I'm going to start off in Cebu. And there's a few other places I'll probably want to check out, especially if I decide Cebu is not where I want to live. I know when I first get there, I'm going to be really happy. But, after a while, you may decide, hey, this is not, it's either too expensive or whatever. Maybe it's just too noisy or too polluted or whatever. You may decide it's not for yourself. And so then you got to look at other. Yeah, I knew he was going back. I told him to enjoy his trip. On Facebook, Jamie's one of my friends on one of my Facebook pages, and I told him to enjoy his trip and have a good flight. I think he was showing that he was getting ready to go fly. And now, Danny, when are you retiring and moving over? Have you decided yet? I know you're wanting to do it soon, but I don't know if you made that decision yet. I know that I've been checking into things. One of the things I decided, Danny, I don't know if you're a former military or not. I can't remember. I'm going to join the USAA Federal Savings Bank. That's for former military people and government employees. I think it's going to be federal government employees. The nice thing about that is with them, if you use their credit card at the out-of-network ATMs, they will reimburse up to $10 a month for ATM fees, and they don't charge you any ATM fees. And if you use a credit card, there's no international fees either. So that's what I'll be using all the time is their credit card, and I'll just pay it off every month. Like I said, right now I'm thinking about trying to get the SRRV for the military. I'm not sure if I'll do that. It's something I'm going to look into. I know I'm going to pick up some things I know I'll need for that. But that will be something I'll look into because that will let me come and go. You have to pay so much a year for your visa. Yeah, it is nice that he can do that. And I don't have that kind of money. Jerry, how you doing, man? You're here late. Yeah, Jerry, you take care. Thanks for stopping in, man. I'm glad you made it, even though just to say hi and bye. Now, this is Jerry's bedtime. Yeah. Now, like I said, Danny, have you decided when you're going to retire and go over? Are you going to do it this year? Are you going to do it next year? Or have you made that decision? Right now, I'm still debating on whether to do it and move over in April, May, or June. Maybe as late as July. That's what I'm looking at. Like I said, the end of March is when my lease runs out. So if I go in April, that means I don't work any extra. I'm done in March. And I'm thinking about working a month or two extra. 3 at the most. So if I do 3, it would be in July. If I do 2, it'll be in June. If I do 1, it'll be in May. If I don't do any, like I said, it'll be in April. Although I'll probably take a couple weeks after the lease is up, go back to Indiana, visit my sisters. I got 3 sisters back in Indiana and a bunch of cousins, and I got 2 nieces back here. I'll go back and visit them before I go over. That's all right, Jerry. Like I said, you were supporting ABC. She's a good person to support. And, I don't make all your live streams either. You know that. I try, but I don't always make them. So there's no harm, no foul. And so right now, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going if nobody's coming up. But Danny, that's what I'm saying. I'm still trying to figure mine out. If I could do it, I'd love to do it in January. That way I'm done working in December. I'd have to pay those 3 months. I just don't have the money to do that because I'd have to pay for those 3 months that I'm not living here. To break my lease, I'd have to pay at least a month or 2, and that's more money than I want to spend that I don't have coming in. So I'm just trying to decide if I want to go in April. I'll go back home and visit like I said, my sisters back in Indiana, and my cousins and my nieces, and visit them for a week or 2, then come back. Do I want to come back to New York, see my oldest sister, and then my friends down here, or do I want to take off from Indiana? I have to figure out where I'm going to sell my car because I'm not keeping my car. As a matter of fact, it's in the shop right now. For those of you that knew that I had that wreck, it wasn't serious, people, but it cost a pretty penny. We won't say how much, but thankfully the insurance is paying for most of it. But I'm getting that done. I had to get a new quarter panel on the passenger rear, and I had to get a new rim for the passenger rear tire because those things got tore up. And so we got got that fixed. They got it apart, got it painted. They got to put it back together. So sometime next week I'll be getting my car back. Uh, I don't know what day yet. I understand that's what I'm trying to figure out, Danny, is my finances. Now, after March, I'm going to be on. If I decide to stay, I'm going to be on a month to month. I'm not going to do another year lease, and they don't do anything but a year or a month to month. And I know good and well my rent will go up each month if that I do a month to month. So how advantageous is it to stay more than a month or two? I don't know. Uh, that's something I got to decide on my own before I even know what that's going to cost me. Because then I have to make reservations for the plane trip, as you know. But like I said, I'm just trying to get my finances situated, get enough money saved back, and get myself over there. Now, I don't think you're old enough to get Social Security, are you? And all right, I don't know what it'll cost me each month. There's a percentage that the rent here in New York. There's a percentage that your rent goes up every time you sign a lease. They can raise it. It's legally they can only raise it so much, and it's a percentage. So if you sign a month to month, you're still getting that same percentage, or maybe more because it's month to month, and you'll get it every month. There'll be a percentage. Yeah, like I said, see, I'll have my Social Security. So, as a matter of fact, I have it, my Social Security. So, I'll have it. I have money that'll be coming in every month. Just got to have the money back for the emergencies if something happens, and that kind of stuff. And I do have money back. I just want more back because you know good and well you got to have so much money. Well, when you first went over, you had to have so much money to pay for the place you're going to be living. Like if you do a long-term lease, you got to have like at least 1 month plus 1 month in advance. Most of the time, it's like you put down 2 months, a deposit plus 1 month in advance, and then you plus that month. So you have to have like 3 months rent payment to put down. Also, what happens if it's not furnished fully the way you want it? Then you got to buy that stuff. So there's the startup money you got to have, and then, like I said, you got to have money back for emergencies. What happens if you just, that's the things I'm trying to set myself up for. I do have money back that I can go over and set myself up. I got that money. That's there right now. As long as nothing happens where something happens to it. And so anyway, that's taken care of. Now I got to save up money, and I got some saved towards that. But for the emergencies and stuff, I've got 8 or 9 months. Let's see, about 7 months right now, and I got to see how much that will put back, and I look at it as I'm going, and make that determination because a couple extra months may make a big difference. So I'm leaning towards working at least 1 or 2 months. I'm doing 1 or 2 months extensions. So that's what we're trying to do, and get that set up. And like I was telling people earlier, I want when I say my budget, I don't mean all the money I have to spend. I mean what I want to spend minimum per month if I don't do anything. Okay, I want. When I say don't do anything, I don't mean not go out of the apartment. I mean I'll go get coffee and maybe go out and get a bite to eat, but I'm not going to take any trips. I want my budget to be about twice what my rent is. My rent plus that much more. And that will leave me, if I get the budget I want, that'll leave me plenty of money for saving money and to go out and enjoy myself because I got to save money. You know good and well that the older you get, the more expensive health insurance is. I don't know if I'll be able to get it at my age. RD, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. So anyway, we're Elvis said in the rain, huh? Well, tell her thank you. So we're looking at places to live. I mean, I may be able to do it in Cebu. I'm going to try, but that doesn't mean I'm going to like Cebu. I will like it at first, but I'm just saying when I say like, I mean like it as a place I want to stay for the rest of my life. It may be too large. I like small cities and big towns, and Cebu's a fairly big sized city. When I was younger, I would probably love it, but I'm not into the nightlife anymore. So, like I said, I may decide it's just too large for me. Maybe it's too polluted. Maybe whatever. When I first get there, I'm going to love it, but later on, I may not. There's places like Iloilo and Davao, which are both very clean places. Now Davao is large in landmass, but it's not as large. I don't think it's Cebu. Iloilo is very clean. There's places like I said, I'll visit Dumaguete and Valencia and Negros. I'll visit some places probably in Leyte, which is where Dan lives. I'll probably go over there just because, Dan's over there. Maybe I'll pop over and say hi and see a few people over there. Maybe check out Ormoc or what is it, Taglamon or whatever that other city is. Like I said, if I can live on the budget I want to live on, I may not be able to do that. It may not give me the comforts that I want, so I may have to spend more money. That's what we got to find out. And that'll take a few months to figure that out. It'll also take a few months to figure out if it's a boost for me. But I will probably visit. Probably the first place I'll visit probably will be Dumaguete and Valencia. Then I'd have to say probably Leyte over around Ormoc and Bye. Probably the second place to go. But I'm talking about if I have to actually travel. I mean, Cebu, I don't consider that as traveling. That'll be, the whole island and the island right that I can drive across the bridge to me is not traveling. Those are day trips. I'm talking about where I have to go and spend a couple nights to make the trip worthwhile. And just spending an overnight is not a problem. That's still, to me, it's just a day trip. You go over there and spend the night, spend the day, then come back that day or maybe the next day. So you're like maybe a 3-day weekend. That's not really that much. I like to do those kind of trips. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that's not what I call traveling. Traveling is going somewhere where I want to stay maybe a week, or at least 4 or 5 days. So I like to do those too. But we'll see. Like I said, when I go to Dumaguete and Valencia, I want to spend at least a week there. I want to get there probably on a Friday or Saturday. Go up to the Sunday market in Valencia. And I might be able to do that on a 4 or 5 day trip. I may not have to do a full week. But we'll see. And but like I said, when I go to Davao, that'll have to be a full week. It's a lot farther to try. Same thing with Iloilo. I want to spend a full week there. Same thing when I go to Manila. I want to go to Manila and see the World War II cemetery, the American cemetery that's in Manila. I want to go up and see the Grand Venus Canal Ball. I want to go see those things. There you go, Danny. Drop the L's, buddy. I'll get it up there here in a little bit. But like I said, I'm looking forward to my trip. I can't say I'm excited. Can't say I'm nervous yet because it's too far away. I hope when it's time for me to go, I treat it just like I did when I was in the military. I never got what in the Navy we called it channel fever. A lot of people would get channel fever the night before you pulled in. They couldn't sleep. I never suffered from channel fever, just like I never got seasick. But now I would always be ready to go in, but I was always able to go to sleep and get a good night's sleep. Matter of fact, some of the best sleep I ever had was out at sea. Ship in gentle weather, gentle ocean waves would rock you to sleep. At least rock me to sleep, and I could sleep quite well. But like I said, I never really suffered from channel fever. I just, I won't say it. The old Hawaiian disease, I have suffered from that, but we won't get into that. There's kids present, although they may not understand what I say. So we will, but that's all right. But yeah, so like I said, I am looking forward, and I know the closer it gets, the more excited I will get. But I won't get excited until I know about what I'm going. And like I said, right now I'm leaning towards May or June, doing 1 or 2 extra months just to get that little extra money saved up. But I have no intention of working all next year. No, I don't have any intention to working another 6 months. I would have gladly signed a 3 or 4 month extension if that was offered. But being it's 1 month at a time, I may only do 2 months. I may decide just 1 month. But I'm leaning towards doing 2. That'll add quite a bit of money to the old bank account. Increase the money I have back for emergencies, because all I'm putting back right now is emergency money, and the more I have of that, the more comfortable I'll be to go. Because you know and I know we have to pay up front for any emergencies. You have to show at least the capability of paying if you have a medical emergency. And the older we get, the better chance there'll be an emergency. And the emergency may be I have to run back to the United States. So I've got to have the money for that. I hope not. But, if your health requires you to go somewhere and that's the only place you can afford to have it treated properly and you can actually make it back, that's what you got to do. I hope to get over there, and I hope to find a place that I absolutely love and stay there. Just enjoy the rest of my life, however long that will be. We'll see. Well, folks, I've been going, yakking, flapping my jaws. I wish somebody would come up. We could talk a while. But anyway, this is what's going on with my life. We're trying to enjoy myself. And I haven't had anybody come up that needed a wrench and didn't already have one. So, I just noticed something. My computer and my, okay, I know what I'm doing. Never mind. I started early. That's why it's off. All right. But I've been going almost an hour and a half. So, all right, folks. I think we've talked enough today. I need to get up and start moving around. Leah, how you doing? Thank you for coming. I was just getting ready to close it down, but I'll talk for a little bit if you got anything you want to add. Like some of you didn't hear, I'll tell you now. My sister Ruth Ann, who's the one I went home for, that had the heart attack, that had to have the stent put in and a pacemaker. Well, she's back in the hospital. It's not her heart this time. It's not her heart. But she's back in the hospital. She's in the intensive care unit. She somehow has a hole in her stomach that's letting air into there. And they're going to have to operate. But they got to get things straightened out. So she's going to be in intensive care for 3 or 4 days before they can operate. And so I'm waiting to hear how things are going there. Uh, there again, I may have to jump back to Indiana again. I hope not. I hope everything goes. I do want to go back to Indiana to see my sisters again, but I hope not for that reason. I hope it's just to go see them and visit. So we'll see. Uh, so if you believe in the power of prayer, if you'll pray for my sister Ruth Ann, I appreciate it. I'll definitely keeping her in my thoughts and prayers. This is one of my older sisters. This is my second to the oldest sister. I have 3 older sisters and 1 younger. And my 2 oldest sisters have been having health problems. My oldest sister has been having health problems since just before my mom's funeral. Serious health problems, but she's finally straightening out. She's getting a lot better, and she seems to be doing well now. Now it's my second to the oldest sister, but I keep them both in my prayers every night and every morning. Even before this last happened, I keep them in my prayers. All my sisters and my brother-in-laws and my family. But so yeah, like I said, right now I'm figuring out my banking situation. I've got it figured out. I just got to get it straightened out. I'll get that straightened out here hopefully soon. Some of it I got to wait till I get with my nephew, my oldest nephew, and we'll have to sign some paperwork and stuff and get in where he can deal with this stuff for me if something happens. I've also decided I'm dropping one bank and starting another one because it'll be better for me using it overseas than any other bank. So that's what's going on there. I'll have that straightened out probably. Well, I know what I want now. Now it's when I can get together with my nephew, I'll get it straightened out. He lives in Florida though, so it may be a while, but I'll get it straightened out before I go. Even if I have to go down and see him, which is fine. I've never been to Florida. It'd be a good reason to go, I think. Like I said, that's another reason why I may work a couple more months, just so I get all this stuff straightened out and reimburse the money I'm spending to straighten things out. Like I said, I got to have a decent savings for emergencies. I already have more than enough money for my startup, and I do mean more than enough. So I have some money back, in other words, for my savings right now, unless something goes wrong. So God forbid that anything goes wrong. And I pray every night that He helps me make it to the Philippines and help me have a good life there. And so we'll see. And that's what we're trying for. That's what we're striving for. I'm tired of this cold and weather here. I got to go through another winter. I have to go through this winter. I just can't leave. I wish I could, but I can't leave this winter. But I don't plan on being here next winter. I don't even want to be here close to any time that gets cold again after this. So that's what I'm working towards. We appreciate it, Christina, that you're still watching. We thank you for that. So yeah, and remember, folks, Cindy B was on here earlier. Like I said, her family her and her husband had their house broken into, and somebody stole a lot of money from them. So if you can help her and her family out, please do so. She's got one daughter. She got a cute little girl named Summer. Excuse me, it's a boy. It's a boy. A cute little boy named Summer. Let's get it right, Larry. The reason why I say girl is the only Summer I knew was a girl, and just like the only Summer I've personally known was a girl. So I keep that name. That's why that pops into there. But hey, Section Dasher, how you doing? Thank you for coming. We appreciate the raid from Melvie. Thank you. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going. We appreciate everybody dropping in and saying hi. If you haven't, please give a thumbs up. We appreciate those. My nose is getting really plugged. Give me a moment, folks. I'll be right back. I just got to step out for a second. Yeah, that's better. That's better. My nose is much better. Like I said, sometimes you just get up and move around a little bit. Plus, you blow your nose. It'll clear up. You have a blessed Sunday, too. I know it's a Sunday morning there. It's still Saturday night here, but Sunday's coming quickly. And you have a great weekend as well. Like I said, I really do appreciate everybody coming. And then, as you can tell, I sound better now since I did that. Like I said, I'm just starting to plug up. Sometimes if I sit too long, that'll happen. I had a boss that thought something's wrong. I said, no, watch. And I got up and just walked around for about a minute or two, and it cleared right up. And it surprised me. I said, yeah, sometimes that's all it is. It's just sitting there for some reason it just affects my allergies. And sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes sitting for too long will affect my allergies and make my nose plug up some. So I just have to get up and move once in a while, and that's all I did. So I appreciate that. And yeah, like I said, though, that's my newest rack back there. Nizelle, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming. Tell LV hi. I don't know how much longer I'll be going. Wish somebody would come up and talk to me, but nobody. I did have Cindy B come up. So I've been telling people that if you can help Cindy B and her family out, it would be greatly appreciated. Pamela, how you doing, Pamela? Thank you for coming. Tell Evie hi. But Evie's having a raid on me. Sometimes I'm done by now, but I'm still going today, so we'll see what's going on. But yeah, we're just trying to. Oh, turn that fan on again. But yeah, like I said, though, as I get closer and when I make my decision of what I'm going to do, I'll let you guys know. Like I said, I've decided on how to handle my money situation overseas. So that's been figured out. I have to still get it set up, but at least I know what I'm going to do and what I have to do to set it up. Like I said, the virtual mailbox is I may start looking into it here in a little while, but it's too far away right now to really set it up. I got to start looking into do I have to do it here in New York State where I live? Can I do it in another state? Probably have to do it here in New York as long as I stay here. Because I thought about maybe moving down to Florida for a few months or back to Indiana for a few months to establish residency in those states for tax purposes. But I don't think that's going to make a difference, so I won't be doing that. I'll check a little more into that. And if that does make a difference, then I definitely will work 2 or 3 more months because I'll do that in a different state. I'll move to maybe back to Indiana, live with the girls, work a couple more months, just establish residency in Indiana, and like I said, it'd be for tax purposes only if I need to do it. Otherwise, I won't do that. I'll just stay right here and set everything up. But I'd ask Google. Now I got to check with a professional. If the Google's correct, then I won't need to do that. And so I'm hoping I don't need to do that. Like I said, it would be more advantageous just to stay here until I'm done. I shouldn't say advantageous. It'd just be easier on me. I'd have to but I have to sell almost everything anyway, because I'm not transferring this stuff overseas. It just costs me way too much money, a lot more money than what the stuff is worth. I will take pictures. I'll have that shipped over later, because that'll be a family that's sentimental value, where the furniture and stuff is not. It's just it's just stuff, like that cabinet maker. It's just stuff. It's not worth sending over. It's better off selling it for $5 than trying to sell it, take it overseas. To me, it's just better to get, like that couch. This couch right behind me. That's a nice couch. They call a sleeper. So, hey Kevin, how you doing, man? There you go. Like I said, that's a sleeper sofa. A sleeper sofa is different than a futon. A futon, you just kind of lay back and they're not very comfortable. This has got a bed that you pull out. It's a full-size bed. You pull out, it's a full-size bed. So I'll get rid of that. I got a nice recliner, it's an electric recliner. Those two things will bring me the most money. Everything else is going to be very little value to other people. Now, Kevin, I know you're about ready to move back to the Philippines, you and your wife. Now, if I remember your last video that I watched, you were both working in the garage area. I think you were like washing the cars and cleaning up the buses and cleaning the buses. You used to drive, but you went to do that, and you're working together with your wife. And so, how are you two, and how's Fritz looking forward to moving back to the Philippines? I know that's coming up soon for you guys. Danny, how you doing, Danny?
Good, man. How you doing?
Not bad. I was wondering if anybody else was going to come up. Like I said, right now, like I said, if everything goes right, and I am really thinking about working a month or two over what my lease is, so I have to extend it a month or two. Okay, so we may be. We're going. Kevin from My Filipino American Adventure, him and his wife and son Fritz. I don't know if the other son's going with him or not. Are going back to the Philippines in June. They're retired and going to June.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. He's getting ready to move over there. So
cool. Yeah, I'm hoping to get over there. Maybe around January or February.
Well, that'll be a little earlier than me. Like I said, right now I'm looking at April will be the earliest. But I'm thinking about working 2 more months, so that would put me in June, about the same time he's going.
Cool.
And, in other words, work April and May, then leave in June. That's what I'm thinking about doing.
Yeah, Irene, she keeps wanting me to come over. She's like, "Come on, just come over for 30 days." And I was like, "Well, first of all, I hate leaving her at the airport. That's horrible. And second, I was like, well, why don't we just extend it a little longer, and this way I'll be over there permanently instead of having to just stay for 30 days.
Now, do you have a what do they call it? The married visa?
We're not married. No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you guys were married. I was going to say, if you were married, I'd fly into like Singapore or somewhere if you could. Right. Have her meet you there, then you go in together and you get a year free.
Wow.
If you're married to a Filipino, but you gotta have to have your marriage license with you.
Right.
And but those people that are married to Filipinos or Filipinas, either one, you go in together with your marriage license and you get 1 year free.
Uh-huh.
And you can do that every year if you want to leave and go on vacation. Yeah, but I'm not going to even try to pronounce that word, Kevin. It's the same thing as the box and you ship back.
Balikbayan.
Balikbayan. Yeah, there's a Balikbayan visa.
Yeah.
And now Dan, I think Dan does that
Yeah,
because they
that's
go they
that's
they
like,
leave the country quite a bit and go back. They like to go to Thailand and some other places.
right.
And so what, Jonah Lynn, how you doing, Jonah Lynn? I think
Yeah,
I
that's
know
one
who
of the
this
things
is.
that's one of the things I have to do too is, stuff that I want to keep and I don't want to sell or give away, I'm going to have to ship over there.
Oh yeah.
Either that or take to my sister's place down in Arkansas.
Well, like I said, most of the stuff that I will say will be pictures mostly.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, stuff you don't want to give away or throw away. Yeah. Or
yeah,
give.
well, this is family pictures, is what I'm
Right.
talking about.
Right.
And some of them are irreplaceable. I mean, I can't have them retaken because, well, my father's been dead for years. My mother's dead now. I can't get those. I can maybe get copies of them, but I can't get new pictures of them.
Right.
Both my brothers have passed a long time ago. My younger brother was back in 2015. My
Mhm.
older brother was back in 1980. Was it 6? I want to say 86.
Hmm.
So I mean, now all four of my sisters are still alive, but I'm the only boy still left. And so there's certain things, and there's some books I'll probably want to keep.
Right.
Some of the books I won't care about, I'll get rid of. I got a whole bunch of movies, but I don't know how many movies I'm going to take over.
Right. Yeah, I just have the one sister, and my mom, she's coming over with me, so that's gonna be.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
She's going to retire over there with you. That's cool. How often is Uncle Kenny going to come visit?
Well, I try to talk him into moving to the Philippines, along with us, but he's just not. He doesn't have a lot of confidence in the hospitals there, so.
I understand that.
And he's retired Navy, so his plans is to move to Guam. So,
Okay.
So
Now
that's
he's retired Navy.
yeah, he's
If
retired.
he can afford Manila area, there's some good hospitals in Manila area.
Right, yeah. And there's that the Navy clinic or the
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if he's retired, he's got the
he's got the funds. Yeah.
no. What I'm saying is he has the medical that the military will give. I think they give it to. You might have to pay for it a little bit, but where they can use their medical benefits overseas. Where I'm not retired, I can't do that. Hey, Betty, thank you for coming. I mean, I can use a VA here, and I could probably go to Guam and use it,
Right.
but I would not be able to use the VA benefits in the Philippines
Right.
because I'm
Yeah,
not
he
retired.
was stationed in Guam before, so he's he liked it when he was stationed there, and
Well, Guam is a very similar as far as weather-wise, I think, to the Philippines.
right. And it's it's only like a 4-hour flight away, so it's not like it's not like flying back to Tucson to see him.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, a lot of it will be very similar.
Right.
So I can understand that. Wanting to go there if you've been there before.
Right.
I've never been to the Guam. I'm giving people monitors.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah, my mom,
people.
she's super excited.
Oh, I don't blame her. Like I said, I can't get excited. I was in the Navy and I never got channel fever. If you know what that is, channel fever is where you're so amped up for what's coming. Like the night before, people can't sleep. They're awake all night. They just can't sleep because you're going to be pulling the port. I never suffered from channel fever.
Right.
And like I said, I also never suffered from seasickness either. But that doesn't mean you're not looking forward. That doesn't mean you're not excited. It just doesn't affect me to where I can't sleep. At least it hasn't. Who knows? This might, because this is not only going to the Philippines, it's also retiring.
Right.
I'm retiring. I mean, I'm 71. I'll be 72 next month. I've been working off and on most, since I was 15.
Right.
And I'm not counting newspapers and shoveling snow because I started doing that back when I was 9, 10 years old. I'm talking about actually working a job where you had to go in and sign in and you got a paycheck. I've
Right.
been doing that since about 15 years old. Now, there's been time frames where I wasn't working, but that was usually short in between,
Right.
So
Yeah, I'm ready to give that life up already. Like I said, I just turned 56 last month, and
I'm going to tell you the truth of 56. I wasn't ready to retire. And I'm talking about I've been like, nah, I'll keep working unless I was rich. Don't get me wrong.
right.
If I was rich, I'd be done.
Right.
I'm not that crazy, but I didn't mind working. I didn't even mind working at 60. 62 was fine.
Well, my Irene and I, we raise pigs over there. We got chickens, goats. I mean, you name it.
Oh yeah, you got things to do. See, I don't want that stuff to do. I'm a city boy, born and bred.
Matter of fact,
My dad,
she just bought a couple of sows like just a few days ago.
yeah. So my dad was a country boy, but he hated it. He did not like the country.
Well,
But he was raised in the country.
the thing is for me, I can't start drawing, a monthly anything until I'm 59 and a half.
Yeah,
And I can start, tapping into my 401k.
yeah.
So-
Oh yeah, my oldest brother-in-law had to do that. He worked for Kodak, if you remember the company,
Right.
Kodak.
Yeah.
And back when he was about 58, which
Uh-huh.
well, that was about 24 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, about almost 24 years ago. He's 82. That's what it said when he was 58. They had a big old bloodletting. By that I mean they just cut left and right workforce. And my brother-in-law was one of them. I worked with another guy that was another one. He became a guard. Well, my brother-in-law was an engineer. He was an electrical or electronic engineer, one of those things.
Right.
So he designed a lot of the stuff. So he made really good money.
Right.
And his buyout was he was able to take less money per month to stretch it out longer. Now they had to watch what they were spending. My sister still worked. She was a teacher, but she did not go to. She did GED on TV.
Mm-hmm.
She also worked in a prison as a teacher for a women's prison. So she's done. She's also worked in schools as well. I mean, but so anyway, they had to watch their money, but they were able to get to where they can get his 401k.
Right.
And then they made it to 62. That was basically the same age. She made 62 before him. She's a few months older. And then he made 62, and things got a whole lot better. Within a short period of time after that, their house was paid off. So,
Right.
after that, they were doing pretty good. But there was a few years there where they were doing okay, but they really had to watch their money.
Right.
And
See, that's kind of the problem.
Diana,
That's the dilemma that I'm in right now because, I still got 3.5 years before I can withdraw money from that, unless I want to get like a 10% penalty each time I draw something from my 401k. And
well, the nice thing about the way you get your place set up, you got it paid for.
Right.
You got the pigs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can survive off the pigs and
That's what I'm saying. Maybe maybe you have to dip into it once in a blue moon.
right.
But
True.
like you said, the more money you got saved up, the better off you are.
Right.
Like I said, I'm still getting my Social Security, but where I live at with my work, I can save money, but I can't save as much as I'd like.
Now, if
It looks red for some reason.
if cryptocurrency all of a sudden goes through the roof, then I'll retire sooner. But
I don't have any. I don't have any of that. I'm not a gambler. You're gambling and it very well could, but I'm too close to to be gambling that way with the money I got. I need all that money I could so I could retire now. Now, if I was younger, at 56, I didn't even think about moving overseas.
Right.
It's probably closer to 60 when I started thinking about it. But even then, I wasn't ready to retire.
Right.
What happened was during the great worldwide catastrophe, we won't say what it is, but we all know what we're talking about. That whole year, I worked somewhere around 70 hours a week. It could have been more. It wouldn't have been much less. It could have been, but I'm talking about average. There was weeks I worked 100 hours. And there was weeks I worked as little as 48
Right.
for the whole bloody year. That burned me out. And so that's when I really started thinking about, it'd be nice to retire. Up until then, I didn't mind going to work every day. I was always happy to be off. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But even then, back then, before that, I would work all the overtime I could get. But we didn't get a lot, but I would work at every chance. It was almost every time it was offered, unless I had something going on.
Right.
And now I hate working overtime. It just burned me out.
Yeah, I used to. Well, I mean, I work, more than 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Simply because I work two different jobs. I work full time at one job, and then I worked 16 hours every Sunday at another job, which I got to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
And between the two of them, I think I get, let's see, 36, 46, 52 hours a week is what I work, and that's every week. And
I only work 38. My shifts are 4 10-hour shifts, but we have to take a half hour unpaid.
Right.
So 9.5 hour day paid days. I mean, I'm there at 10, but I only get paid for 9.5. But I get every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off.
Right.
So it's nice that way. And
yeah, the last time I worked a regular shift was back in February of 2011. That was the last time I worked a 36-hour week. And ever since then, I've always worked more than 40 hours.
well, I worked only 25 hours a week back in January. I left. I'm a security guard, and the one post I was working at closed down. They it was just done. It was they didn't bring it. It wasn't like we lost a contract. They just did. They got rid of all guards. They didn't need a guard anymore. And I was working 4 10-hour days then too.
All right.
I was working, but I got paid for 10. I'd work 6 to 4, 6 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, and the place closed up. It was closed every weekend, so I had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off instead of Monday. And so they called me a couple of times, asked me if I wanted to go work somewhere else to help cover. And I said, "Well, how far away is it?" "No, don't want to do it. No, not interested." And so I turned them down so many times. They ended up putting me where I'm at now, which is actually a very good paying job.
All right.
For a security guard, I make really good money. My job site is contracted to the state, so the state requires. Even though I'm not working for the state, I've done that job before too. I was a guard actually for a state agency, but I'm working for an agency that's contracted with the state.
Okay.
And the state requires them to pay a certain amount of money.
Right.
And so I get that. And I'm going to put this other earbud in because I think the other one's going bad. I think it's going dead. It keeps giving me a beeping sound.
Yeah, I haven't worked any, what I consider overtime since December of last year.
I I get well, when I was working this other place, I got a little overtime once in a blue moon, and I'm still working the same. I mean, same company, but I worked in a different. We have two different buildings,
Mm-hmm.
and the other building you didn't get 40 hours. 35 hours is the most I got at that other building.
Right.
But occasionally they would have to have somebody come in to cover a shift on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
which was another 6 hours. So I had to work 6 days, but I got 41 hours. I did that once in a while.
All
And then
right.
I was able to transfer to this building, and it's only 38 hours for there's two of us, and then another guy comes in and covers our days off.
Hmm.
It's only open Monday through. Both buildings were only open Monday through Friday, except for they had to have one guard there on Saturdays for 6 hours
Hmm.
because of they're connected to the government insurance.
Hmm.
So they had to have somebody there for whatever they did on Saturdays.
Right.
And the only thing we had to do on Saturdays is if one of the agents would call and say they needed a welfare check on somebody. That's the only thing we were really there for on Saturday. So most of the time you did nothing. You sat there and looked at the cameras and you didn't do a thing. You know? It's like, okay. Just sit there, twiddle my thumbs and get paid for it.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me. They're like, "Well, what do you plan on working as a nurse over in the Philippines?" And I'm like, "Probably not." You know,
I don't know if you could, because they have so many Filipinos and Filipinos that are nurses.
right.
It has to be a job that they can't find. My understanding is it has to be a job that they can't find a qualified Filipino or Filipina to do the job.
Well, one of the things I was considering was, getting an online job, working for a company here in the U.S., but working remotely from over there.
If you can get that set up before you go now.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you'll get paid in U.S. currency.
Yeah, that's what. But the problem is, I think those jobs are they've been drying up for a while because when
Well,
COVID.
would there be any job like medical coding or whatever it's called input that you could get that would do that?
I don't know. I haven't really checked in on that yet.
I would check into see if there's anything medical that you
Right.
could do. That way. I don't know if you can or not, but I'm just saying if you
Right.
could, that's something that you do have a qualification. I think they would take in consideration because you know all the terminology and
The
stuff.
problem I would have would be like, hey, you have an in service. You have to come in on Friday and do an in service or some stupid shit.
Yeah. No, like I said, they'd have to know you're not going to be able to do that.
I'd be like,
And-
I don't think so.
And another problem with that might be that you might have to do that at night.
Right.
So that's something else you have to look at because some of those you may have to do at night, but some of those you can do during the day because you over there they want somebody available at night, and you'd be there during the day, which would be their night.
Yeah, if they needed somebody like on that for not working nights,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that'd
you'd be daytime. Yeah,
that'd be nice,
yeah. Get yourself the Starlink,
Yep.
so you'd have a reliable internet.
And they get some satellite or some solar panels, with a battery backup generator and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, either that or just get a backup generator that's diesel.
Right. You know how the brownouts are.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get that, you can get them big enough to power the whole house.
Right. Yeah, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. I just
Yeah. Like I said, I
sometimes
know what I want to do. Nothing.
a lot of times I just want to go with her. I just want to go. I don't have to worry about working and all this
Like I
bullshit.
said, everybody I talk to, I'm going to treat it. Hey, Sammy, thanks for coming. I'm going to treat it like I'm on vacation. And I don't mean the spending wise. I'm not going to spend like I'm on vacation,
Right.
but I want to treat it like I'm on vacation in that I'm going to enjoy the first few months doing whatever I want to do that I can afford to do without putting myself in a financial bind.
Right.
And just relax, like you do on vacation, like a staycation. Let's put it that way. I want to do it like a staycation.
Right.
Just
Right.
take the time off, maybe go travel somewhere close by, see something, come back. That's the way I want to treat it the first month or two. Is a staycation. That's the best
Hey,
way to put it.
Sammy.
A staycation.
How's it going, Sammy?
Because staycations you don't spend as much money as you do on a vacation. And so I want to do that for the first month or two and see what it costs me. How much am I spending per month?
Right.
And then is the budget I want conducive to what I'm doing?
True.
And when I say budget, I'm talking about what I want to spend every month, and then I want money over that I can maybe do the bigger trips once in a while
Right.
and
Right.
save money. The
Well,
first month or two, I want to do like a staycation. Let's see what it's going to cost me.
Once you get over there, maybe your channel will start to grow too. So you'll start generating revenue through your YouTube channel.
I have no plans right now. I have no plans on monetizing this.
Well, not yet. I mean, you will. I mean, I would think eventually.
I just don't know. I don't want to know. If I monetize it, then it becomes a job. I don't want a job. Do this for fun, like I'm doing it. It may grow, but if it grows, it'll be my natural.
Right.
growth.
Right.
That
Absolutely.
doesn't mean I'm going to monetize it. I may never monetize it.
Have you checked in to see how much further you need to go to get monetized?
I got the number of
Subscribers.
subscribers. I got that number. It would be the if I did it, I might need some hours or something like that.
Right.
But like I said, I'm not worried about that. And because like I said, I really don't care if I get monetized or not right now. And so we're just, like I said, who knows? That could, like you said, that could change.
Right.
I may decide, hey, a little extra money would be nice. And
Yeah.
just to let you know, if you want to drop your link, just type in LLL, and my Nightbot will do it for you.
Yeah. I
So I
haven't.
got this up on my big screen TV over off to my right because I got that as my Ninja channel being up, and so I can look over there. And huge compared on my laptop. Last week it was just so dark, and so if I take this off, you can see me quite well. And I have to really hide a lot of it because it light's right there. So I may even get a different light to put over here or something to.
Yeah, I haven't posted anything on my channel for probably a couple months.
Yeah. I haven't been putting up the shorts like I should.
Yeah,
The shorts help you grow a lot. They get a lot of views. Or
yeah.
oh, we got Sammy coming up. Hey, Sammy, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine, but still moving on. Hi, Kuya Dan.
Hey, how's it going? How you doing, Sam?
Not so good. Not so good, but I will be good.
No, you
I
said
will
you're
be good.
sore, huh?
Sorry?
I said you said you're sore.
No,
Okay,
I'm still. Sorry?
I thought you said you were moving kind of slow. I figured that's probably because you're sore.
No.
Okay.
Did you have an accident or something?
No, Kuya. My fish almost all die.
Oh yeah, you had that. You were having skin problem.
No, my fish
Your fish all died.
almost all die.
Well, I'm
I
sorry.
did a live stream. I did a live stream that day.
I saw you doing a live stream where you were in the concrete pond with them,
Yeah,
moving some around. But
it's all good, Kuya.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. I know you had those fish a long time.
Yeah,
You
4 years.
she started off it was a smaller pond, and then they started getting bigger, and so she had to take them all and put them in a like a kiddie pool or something, and build a bigger
Mhm.
pond for them. So yeah, I know you had. Like I said, I watching fish swim around can be relaxing.
Still hurt though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can understand that hurting because you had them for a long time and enjoyed having them. I mean, it was something that you took pleasure in. And
Mm-hmm.
that would be something that would hurt, you know. But
But
sorry.
I'll be fine. One of my friend would like to sponsor me to get another small babies.
Okay. Uh, uh, they'll be small babies, but they'll grow into big babies.
Yeah, they are my babies, kuya.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard for me.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of people, their pets are like family, whether they're dogs, cats, or whatever, And your pond was big enough that you could actually get in there with them, and
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I seen you catch them and pick them up and move them, and so yeah, they were more pets than anything else.
Yeah, I need to accept it, kuya, because life is like that.
Yeah.
And Kuya Dan, I thought that you are I thought that you are in the Philippines.
No, I haven't been over there in, well, it's been over a year now.
Yeah, I'm watching your videos, Kuya, but I wasn't drop any comment.
Yeah, I haven't put any videos out for quite a while. I just haven't been
Mm-hmm.
motivated. No motivation to do anything.
Like I said, the only thing I'm doing right now is pretty much just these live streams. I haven't done a video or a short in quite some time, and I know what come October I'll be doing some because I really enjoy the holiday decorations, and so I know I'll get some up when they start putting those out. And I'll do it again for Christmas and Thanksgiving and those. And I like lawn ornaments too, but I haven't seen any neat ones. The last lawn ornament I did was that skeleton. I don't know if you've seen that one. I called it a bone tard. There's this guy right at the end of the roadway that's in the apartment complex going out, so you're leading out. Right across from the road is this guy's got this yard. And he's got this lawnmower with a skeleton on it. Looked like it's cutting grass. And I thought that was kind of cool. So I made a short video and called it Bone Tired. Just working myself to the bones, man. That one did pretty good. But I haven't seen anything to inspire me. Like the one I did on the Volkswagen. I did one on the Volkswagen where I was going to work. This guy's got
Mm-hmm.
this blue Volkswagen in his yard. And at nighttime, it has lights on it.
Oh, nice.
And and the headlights have got these white lights that are sometimes they're on, sometimes they're not. But the headlights are on, and lights around the doors, and
Oh, that's
it's kind of cool. It's got this big giant metal rose right there, and if you look, it's got like an old gas pump right beside it.
Nice.
So I saw that one. I had to stop and take a video of that one. I did a short on that one. And the one short that did a whole lot better than I thought it would do. There's this giant dog on top of this building. Just a great big dog. Kind of reminds you of the RCA dog. The Victoria. I think our Victoria is like the name of the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminded me of that, and I showed that one, and that one got a lot of views that I didn't think it would get. But like I said, I see something like that, that I find kind of interesting and odd that I do one, but I travel the same area all the time, you know, so I don't see a whole lot. But like I said, now when the holidays get here, then I'll be doing a lot more shorts, showing the different decorations and stuff. So we'll have to do that.
Well, I guess the Philippines getting ready to start the Burr months.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
September.
I look forward to next year seeing the Burr month in person.
Kuya 123 Tarl is going coming here on September though next month.
Okay, that sounds like good for tire. 1, 2, 3
Yeah.
tire. TARL.
Yeah.
Well, always think of my dad when I see tar. My dad's name was Carl. It's CARL. It's pronounced Carl. That was also my oldest brother's middle name. And,
He said that he's going to meet me though.
yeah, that's good. Like I said, well, after I get over there, sometime I want to go to Dumaguete and Valencia, and I'll let you know when I'm going to do that. If we can meet up, we will. But I'll probably be in the Philippines for a month or probably a couple of months before I go over. Like I was telling Danny here, when I first get over there, that first month to probably 2 months, I want to treat it like a staycation. The staycation
But
means
the-
you're on vacation, but you stay.
But
where
to be honest, I'm not really sure what his really plan because he said that he's going to directly here in Dumaguete and meet me. I'm not really sure what his 100% plan.
Well, like I said, my plan is to go to Cebu, stay there for at least 2 months, and not go anywhere, just Cebu. Now that may change, but I want the first 2 months to judge what it's going to cost me to just have what my daily life is going to be like. You know, like, go out for coffee, go out and get something to eat, pay my rent, buy groceries for my apartment, and that kind of stuff. In the first 2 months to get an idea of what I'm spending as a staycation. A staycation here in the States means you're on vacation, but you don't go more than maybe a day trip. You might go to see a site or something, but you're not going to another state if it's very
Right.
so in other words, you just stay local. And so I want to do the first couple of months as a staycation. And then I can figure out what I got to spend each month to enjoy my life with that style. And what's over that, then I can start doing trips. A
There you
trip
go.
would be like going to Dumaguete, going to Iloilo, Davao. That would be the trips. So how often could I take one? How much do I have to spend on that? But I need to know what I'm spending every month before I can figure that out. So about 2 months, it might be 3 before I actually get it figured out. How much my staycation will cost me. Then I can figure out how much money I got for the other. And so that's my plan, and we all know how that goes. You want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. But that's what I plan on doing. And figure that all out, then I can enjoy myself. Like I was telling Danny here earlier, right now I don't plan on going over. My lease runs out in March, at the end of March. So I could go as early as April, but I'm thinking more like June. Go ahead and just do a couple 1 month extension, April and May, just to put a little more money back. The most I'd do would be 3 months. So the latest I'm going to go over is July. So a year from now, I'll be in the Philippines. If everything goes according to my plan. I hope to be there, like I said before that, but at least by August next year, I'll be there if everything goes right. I don't want to spend another winter here after this one. This is hopefully my last winter in the States. I do not like snow. It's pretty to look at. It is gorgeous, but I hate snow. It's hard to walk in. It's hard to drive in. And then you got to clean it off your car before you can go anywhere. So if you got to be at work at 8 and you got a foot of snow in your car, you got to be out there before 7 cleaning that car off
Yeah, that's horrible.
So you can leave by 7:30 to drive to work.
That's one thing I'm not gonna miss. I'm not gonna miss
I'm not
that,
going to miss
Larry.
snow at all, man.
Uh,
No, thank you.
or when you get off work, you know, when you go out to the
No,
park.
no, no. I'm lucky. I park in a parking garage.
Well, I never
I'm
had that
inside.
luxury.
Well, I didn't last winter. I
Yeah, I
told
didn't
you.
have that
Okay,
luxury.
I was working at a port, a river port. So there was no parking garage. I had to go out and clean my car off. But now where I'm working at, there's a parking garage. I park on the bottom part. So whether it's snowing or raining or whatever it is, I don't have to I won't have to worry about cleaning my car off. I still have to worry about driving home in it,
All right.
but my car will be clean, completely clean. As long as I had it completely clean when I got there. I mean, I have to clean
Yeah.
if it's snow when you go in, I may have to clean that off.
That was
But
a
it won't be
luxury.
like it's
That was a
out in
luxury,
the
Larry.
whole time. And I won't be out in the weather cleaning it off either. I'm talking about the snow.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm not going to miss winter at all. And that's one of the main reasons I decided to go to the Philippines, is to get away from winter. Now I could go to some southern states, but to live the kind of life I want, which is comfortable. I'm not talking about like a rich man. I just want to be comfortable,
All right.
be able to take some day trips and a vacation once in a while.
Mhm.
I don't think I could do that here in the States anywhere that I would want to live. Okay. There's places I could probably do it, but would I want to live there? Because what else is there? Like I said, there's some states, unless you're into the outdoors, you're doing nothing.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing to do.
Right.
Hey, Shane, give me a moment, Shane. There you go. I've known Shane for quite some time. Although she just created this channel. So I know her through Elvie. And she's commented on quite a few of my videos and live streams. So yeah, we're just like I said, I'm still looking forward to retiring and getting the hiccup out of here. But
Well, just think, Larry, when you get over to the Philippines, I'll show up and be on one of your live streams. So I'll be
You
sitting
don't know-
next to you.
you may know I'm in the Philippines by my first live stream. I'm thinking about doing my first live stream as guess where I'm at.
Well, if you-
Name my
well, if you
first- that's one of I'm thinking about making that the name of my first live stream in the Philippines. Guess where I'm at.
Well, if you have it when you're in Davao, I'll drive up, so I'll be sitting next to you when you have your live stream.
Well, I will do live streams from other places, but my first live stream will be in Cebu. That's where I plan, unless I change my mind between now and then. But that's where right now, that's where I plan on stopping at and setting everything up. Only because I know more about Cebu than any other place, unless it's Dumaguete.
Right.
Because of all the vlogs. I don't know if you ever followed Chris in Cebu or not. He no longer vlogs. That's how I met Dan, and I think I met Sammy through Dan, but that's how I met Dan and a few other people.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of them I met through Dan now. But Chris in Cebu used to do a walking video around Cebu. It was usually the same area because that's where you could get the internet, our data to work. But he'd walk around and do a live stream, and people would be on the live stream and asking questions back and forth. And he's the first live stream I ever watched. I watched his video. I found him before he started doing live streams, and I started following him. And I thought, well, back then, whenever I found a vlogger that I was interested in, I went back and watched every video until I caught up with him. So just about the time I caught up with him is when he started doing live streams. And so I thought, well, I like Chris. Let's check it out. I'd never watched a live stream before. And so I started watching. Well, I couldn't comment on anything because I didn't have in a live stream, you got to have a channel.
Right.
So I created a channel just to comment on videos and stuff. The only reason I ever created a channel, and my first channel was just my name, Larry Lee. Well, Chris and Sabu, there was Larry, me, Larry Lee, Larry B, Larry G, and another Larry or two. So I thought, well, if he wants to ask me a question, if I'm not paying close attention, because sometimes I was at work,
Right.
I wouldn't know it. So I thought, well, I'll change my name to Lazy Larry, still LL.
Right.
So I changed it, my channel to Lazy Larry. And do you know who Mike married to a beautiful? Well, he used to be married to a beautiful Filipina. Now it's Mike married to a beautiful woman.
Hmm.
All right. Well, he was in followed Chris as well, and there was a few others. And they always asked me how come Lazy Larry, because I was always either just getting off work, just got home from work, or I had to stay over, so I got home late and joined late, that kind of stuff.
Right.
You're always working. How come lazy? So I did my first video, talking head video, as hello, I'm Lazy Larry. And so I explained how I got the nickname in high school, senior year in high school, and why I used it. And that was a fairly long talking head, but that was my very first one, and I enjoyed doing it, so I thought I'd continue doing some videos.
Well, that's one thing I haven't tried yet. I've never done a live stream.
Yeah, but anyway, some of the guys were saying, "Hey, Larry, we can't find your video. It takes forever." And I typed in Lazy Larry, and there's all these cartoons about some character named Lazy Larry. So I thought, well, I'll just have my last name, make it Lazy Larry Lee, which I did, and boom, I'm the first thing that pops up. Type in Lazy Larry Lee.
Oh, that's good.
So that's how I got my channel named to Lazy Larry Lee.
That's one of the problems I was having when I started my channel. It was like nobody could find me. They type in road to the Philippines, and it would be nothing but videos about roads in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, it's like my channel is the only channel named Road to the Philippines. I'm like, what's the problem here?
Well, like I said, they had the Lazy Larry was some cartoon character. So as soon as I added Lee to the channel name, that's me. I pop up. So that's why it's Lazy Larry Lee. It's easier for. You're welcome, Sammy. You take care.
Yeah, that's
She
good.
says her mom needs your help. So if you can hear me, thank you for coming in, Sammy. But so yeah, it just. But like I said, the only reason I made that video is like I might enjoy it. Let's try it. And I had bought some equipment to do it, but I thought if I like it, then I'm going to need this equipment. And I did it. I actually enjoyed it. I did one on why I went to Lazy Larry Lee, and I also did one before Lazy Larry, talking about my childhood. By the time I was 13, I lived in 18 houses. My family moved a lot. I was about 12 or 13 the last time. And then when I was in the Navy, when I was in boot camp, my family moved again. But, I went to 6 different elementary schools. Give me a moment. My earbud just dropped.
Oh.
And I changed schools 6 times. So that means 7 schools, right? But the thing is, I went to one school twice. I went to kindergarten at Maple Avenue. And then we moved. I went to Otter Creek. Even though we moved 3 times, I was in Otter Creek. I stayed there for 3 years. Got kept back in 3rd grade. I was a little troublemaker. I was
in back to 1st grade.
I got in a lot of fights. So and I was actually with my best friend. We both liked to fight. To us, it was play. So the teacher would leave the room, we'd get up and start punching each other. And the teacher thought we hated each other, and our parents thought we were in love with each other because we'd always talk about each other, at home, about how much fun we had. But anyway, then I moved to south end of Terre Haute, went to school there for half a year. and then we moved back to the North Terre Haute. That was Montrose for half a year. Then we moved back up to North Terre Haute, where I was going to Cherrytown Elementary, and I went the last half of my second, third grade year, and the first half of my fourth grade year. Then I moved back to Maple Avenue School District for the last of my fourth grade year.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved to Casey, Illinois, and we lived in 4 houses in 2 years, one house for only a month. And I went to both elementary schools. And then we moved back to Terre Haute, where we lived until I went in the Navy. And then they moved, and I knew I had the house up for sale before I went in. So I knew they were moving. Wasn't like, we moved, you can't find us. Man. But I got a letter saying, here's a new phone number, here's a new address. So they lived there until just before I got out of the service. I was in the service for over 6 years. And they moved again around the corner, which they lived for many years there. But when I got out, I went and lived back home for a while. But yeah, by the time I was 12, 13 years old, I lived in 18 houses. My oldest sister, I still live with the family, lived in over 20. So family moved a lot. If Dad didn't like a house or didn't like a neighbor, we moved. So the house that we lived in 1 month, we moved in. Dad looked around and said, "Don't bother unpacking. We're not staying." So we just lived out of boxes. But so yeah, like I said, I think that was one thing that helped me with the military, and that it was easy because I moved so much. You're always making new friends,
Right.
and I never needed a lot of friends. I had my family.
Well, that's where your gift of gab came in.
Oh yeah. Except for when I was young, I was bashful, believe it or not,
Oh, really? Dang.
until I got to know you. Then I was a chatterbox. And when I first met somebody, I was bashful. Rarely talked.
Yeah.
The only teacher that really truly loved me the whole time I was in her class was my kindergarten teacher. She thought I was an angel. The last teacher that thought that.
Oh, shoot.
But
That's funny.
yeah, like I said, my older brother and I, when we were in high school, would have the same teacher occasionally. And if I had the same teacher after him, because they never looked up, because my brother and I looked nothing alike. My older brother was darker complected, dark hair, tall and thin. I was a redhead, blonde if it was summertime because the chlorine and the sun would bleach it to blonde, but short and stocky.
Right.
And was very light complected. So if I got a teacher that he had, and they're reading off the names, and they could read off Larry Lee, and I say, "Here, any relation to Jim or James Lee?" "Yeah, he's my brother." "Okay, nice to have you." If he got a teacher after me, and he would always sit in the back like I did, any relation to Larry? He goes, "Yeah, he's my brother." They go up front. They move me right up front. He hated having teachers after me. I was a class clown, man. I mean, like I said, once I got to know people, got relaxed, that was it. I had, in Spanish class, I had this buddy named Jerry Skelton, and we were in class together, and we'd always sit in the back, and in the back of the room, we'd have the whole class cracking up between the two of us, And Mr. Wagner, that was our Spanish teacher, until he got kicked out of school, would always try to separate us, the opposite sides of the room. And when he's not looking, we'd get up and move over, move over, they were right beside each other. Used to drive him nuts. But yeah, that was in 9th grade. I probably took 1 year of Spanish. Otherwise, I got a general diploma in Indiana. You got the college prep, where you had to have 2 years of a foreign language. I only took one. Now, I took mathematics. I took algebra, geometry, trigonometry, all that good happy stuff. I took all the other courses I had.
All right.
I just didn't take a second year language. And it's like, I don't care. I'm not. Hey, girlie, thank you for coming. I wasn't planning on going to college anyway because ever since I can remember, I was pro-military. I was wanting to go to the military. Now, the branch I wanted to go into would change. Matter of fact, the start of my senior year, I was pro-Marine. I was wanting to go Marine Corps.
Oh, wow.
And but I knew some Marines through work, and one that dated my sister Alta. They all said the same thing. They were proud they went in, but they wouldn't do it again. And then a family friend from church was a sailor. He'd been in country as well, in Vietnam. He'd been in firefights as well. He was a heavy equipment operator. And the Marines would find out, they wouldn't give him a hard time at all because they knew he was the one. If you ever seen Green Beret, you know, the guys out there clearing the brush, that's what he did. So they knew he was out there being fired at just like they were. So
Right.
he said he probably did it and would do it again. And my older brother had already gone. We used to go back and forth which direction was better. Like I said, I was gun-ho Marine at first. And so I got to thinking, do I want to do something I'd be proud of and wouldn't want to do it again? Or do I want to do something that I was proud of and would want to do it again? Then I got to thinking, you know, I'm a pretty good swimmer. If that our ship gets shot out from under me, I could swim quite a while. I really was a really good swimmer. I thought those bamboo trees are probably awful small. Kind of hard to hide by when you're getting shot at.
Right.
So I went Navy. And like I said, we looked so different. When I went in to sign up for the Navy, my older brother went in with me. He just got out of boot camp. And so we go in and we sat down and we had this, like I said, same recruiter. He recruited my brother, he recruited me. His name was Tom Barber. And so I'm waiting. And so Tom finally get done with what he was doing. And we started talking. I was telling him I was, wanting to go in. And I was graduated in January. I was going to be a January graduate. And I wanted to go in, the Navy. And so we're getting everything done. And he goes, now, don't judge the Navy by boot camp. He says, it's totally different afterwards. Matter of fact, you can ask him. There you go. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Cool. Then anyway, he goes, you can ask the guy next to you. I think he's falling out of my ear. He said, you can ask the guy sitting next to you. He'll tell you boot camp's different. He just got out. I said, yeah, I know. That's my brother. And he looks at me and he looks up at Jim and he goes, you guys don't look anything alike. I said, yeah, I know. He's night, I'm day. And my brother goes, oh, no, he's night, I'm day. Because like I said, Jim, I'm part Native American, all right? Don't look anything like it, but my grandmother was raised on the reservation, my mom's mom. All right, now she was at least half, which makes me maybe an eighth. I mean, very little, not enough to worry about. But Jim looked more like the Native American side of the family, where I looked more like the Irish, English side of the family.
Right.
And like I said, the only thing we had in common, we both had the same color eyes. That's it. Everything else is different. Like I said, my brother Jim was about 6 foot tall, thin. I'm 5'8" and stocky. And so yeah, it was. But yeah, we even served together for a short period of time. Now, he was a shellback. I wasn't.
Yeah, I was.
He was a plank owner, if you know what a plank owner is. I figure you know shellback, but I'm not sure if you know what a plank owner is. A plank owner is the first original crew of a ship. So the very first crew on a ship is called plank owners. So his very first ship, he was a plank owner. And when he was home ported out of Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. It's a great duty station, right? Well, he became a plank owner because when they picked up his ship, they did it in Virginia. I can't remember if it was Virginia Beach or Portsmouth, Virginia. One of the two. He was at both places. One for training, one's where they picked the ship up at.
All right.
And they took it from there. They went down to the Panama Canal, went through the canal, so they crossed the equator to get to Panama.
Right.
Went through the canal, pulled into San Diego the day I graduated from boot camp.
Oh, nice.
Talk about serendipity or whatever you want to call it.
That's super
He
cool.
was there the day I graduated from boot camp.
Wow.
His captain knew he had a brother graduating, so he told him, "Hey, look, as soon as we appear, go." So he said he was walking down the gangplank as it was going to the pier. He was in uniform and gone. And so I didn't know he was going to be there. I really didn't.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So after the ceremony, I go back to the barracks, and I get the word I got a visitor at RNO. I'm thinking, who the heck's here? Did mom and dad come out? I didn't think they would. So I go over there, and there's my older brother. He's in his dress blues. I'm in my dress blues because we just graduated.
Right.
And so we're walking around, and some officer and I want to say chief petty officer come walking by. We both salute real quick, you know. And my brother says, "I'm not saluting that petty officer." I said, "I wasn't either. I graduated. I don't care about it." But the officer was there, man. So anyway, my company commander, which is what we call our drill instructor, right?
Mm-hmm.
My company commander sees my brother and sees that he's in uniform. So he comes over and is talking to my brother. And my brother told him that he was in port just for the weekend. They're leaving. I think they left Monday. And on the way to Hawaii, and he just, came to see me. And my company commander says, "Look, we got free tickets to Disneyland.
Oh, wow.
And we got some extras. So if you want to go, you be here at this time, but you got to be in your dress blues, and you can go with us."
Oh, nice.
So my older brother says, "Cool." He shows up on Sunday at the right time with the dress blues. So he goes to Disneyland with my boot camp company.
Oh, nice.
And he took videos of it, movies of it. I don't know whatever happened to the movies he took. I wish I had them, because he had a movie of my graduation. But whatever happened to all those movies, I don't know. I'd love to find them. But
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, he had some videos from when we were out the ship with the dolphins swimming beside it. My brother was. We had an uncle that really was into taking movies, and my brother took up after him. And, like in church, you know how people sang? Well, my uncle and my brother both, they whistled. They whistled right along with the tune, and everybody in our church knew it wasn't being disrespectful. That's just the way they were. And so, like I said, he took up after our uncle a lot. Our uncle Everett, my mom's oldest brother. And yeah, I'd love to find those movies and see if I can get them transferred to DVD or digital or something. But I think they got destroyed. I could be wrong.
All right.
But I have no clue where they'd be. Ended up with, if anywhere, they ended up with my mother. And who knows?
Well, Larry, I'm gonna have to get off of here, man. I gotta get it. I gotta get it.
Robin, I'm gonna have to get going myself. I mean, I've been going almost 3 hours. I was thinking about quitting around an hour and a half.
Yeah, I remember hearing you saying it when I was getting around trying to get stuff done.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Like I said, I like having people come up and talk because it makes it more interesting. You can do more. If you're sitting here talking to yourself, unless
Right.
you have a topic you want to talk about.
True.
Now, do you belong to the USAA Federal Savings Bank? Well, the reason why I ask is if you use their credit card, I've been looking into it. And as former military, you're entitled to join.
Mm-hmm.
Check into this yourself. But they don't charge you international fees if you use their credit card, if you have to use it. Also, if you use your international, their credit card to withdraw money from an ATM out of network, they will reimburse up to $10 a month.
Oh, nice.
So, like I said, you may want to look into that and transfer your stuff over. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I want 2 bank accounts. One that'll be mostly emergency money,
Right.
and I want to use the federal USAA for my bank while I do over there, because of the fact that they don't charge you. And if you pay your credit card off every month, like I do right now, where's the charge? You know what I'm saying? Because I pay off my credit cards every month.
Yeah, I do too. I
Doing
get
it.
I get
doing it,
1.5
it saves you the interest.
back.
Hey, Jen, how you doing? Jen in your heart is here. She just came in. And surprised I'm still getting people. Well, you got to remember it's Sunday morning over there. It's going on 11, so some people are just getting home from church.
Right.
I'm doing quite well, Jen. Thank you for coming. Been going for almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember Leonard Lund?
Who?
Leonard Lund. Did you know Leonard?
Leonard. I mean, it kind of sounds familiar, but
He passed away a couple years ago. But back when he was still living, he used to come in my live stream a lot. And just the 2 of us, we could go 4 or 5 hours. I think one time we went almost 6 hours.
like I said, you got the gift of gab.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie, how you doing, man? Jamie just came up.
What? Oh,
Yeah, off the cup of inches with Jamie.
hey.
How you doing, Jamie? He goes, who are these young fellas? Jamie, I think you're the young fella, at least compared to me.
I think he might be about a year older than me.
I said, then you're the young fellas. You guys are young compared to me. Yeah, we try to be good guys. Jamie, I don't know if you heard or not, but my plan right now is to move to the Philippines next year, to be over there by this time next year, hopefully earlier than this. I'm leaning towards right around June, May, June, somewhere in there. I can do it as early as April, but I want to work another month or 2 to save a little extra money. Like I was telling Danny here, when I first go over there, I plan on treating it like a staycation. Being a Canadian, I'm sure you know what the term staycation means. I know people in America do. The U.S., let's be honest, Canada's in America too. So I plan on treating it like a staycation where you know, he says, awesome, buddy. Danny and I will have you singing. Well, not the first couple of months because I'm going to be staycation and I'm going to start in Cebu.
Well, we may have to fly out there and see you then.
Well, like I said, I do plan on going to Davao, but just not the first couple of months or so.
Right.
My first trip out of Cebu area would probably be to Dumaguete and Valencia and Negros. And then it would be more likely either you guys or Leyte, maybe see Dan over in Leyte. He lives in Bye Bye. And so I do want to make a few trips like that, but not for the first couple months or so. Because like I said, it's I want to see what my monthly budget needs to be for living in that area. Then the surplus will be for travel.
Right.
What it's going to cost me to pay my rent, pay for my groceries, pay for my utilities, pay for my internet, pay for my Wi-Fi, all that good happy, TV, all that good happy stuff. My water, my food, whether it be buying food for home or going out and eating. I want to see what that's going to cost me per month.
Right. Yeah, you got to keep track of all that.
I want to get that straightened out. Have that, or I know what it's going to cost me. You want to hear my voice? Hello, I'm a truck. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for trucks. Those hard driving, gear jamming nuts, and that's not exactly right. It's those coffee drinking nuts, those gear jamming, coffee drinking nuts. They think they got the gift of women.
Yeah,
I had to look this somewhere. It's been a long time since that one.
Jamie's quite the karaoke king over there, man.
Well, Jamie, they like me singing solo. They really do. Solo, they can't hear me. But my voice is not the best. It's not the worst, but it could be better. Let me tell you. And Danny's laughing at. I mean, he's laughing at you, Danny. But if you get a few of those San Miguel painted labels in me, you might get me to sing.
There you go.
But I don't plan on drinking a whole lot, guys. I did all that when I was younger.
Well, me and Jamie, we'll see about that when you get over there.
Well, no, I didn't say I wouldn't have any. It won't be like it was when I was younger. I'll tell you that right now. I drink myself under the table now.
He's saying that right now, Jamie.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've had one drink in the last year. It was a rum and coke. It's probably been in the last 2 years. I might have had 2 drinks. I have maybe 1 drink a year, if that. I really don't drink much at all anymore. So
Hey,
like
Jamie,
I said,
you should come up here on the live stream, man.
yeah, Jamie, come on up, buddy. We'll get you up here. We'll talk for a little bit. But like I said, with me, I always did like the San Miguel painted label, but I'm more of a hard liquor person, or at least I used to be. Rum and Coke or bourbon and Coke, but like I said, right now it would take 2 or 3 drinks, and I'd probably be 6 beers. I'd probably pass out. I mean, it's been so long since I've had anything to drink or drink very much. It wouldn't take much to put me under the table. It really wouldn't. And I don't plan on getting back to where I can drink a lot. That's an expense I don't want. Didn't shave. I got things to do. Quick, stop it. All right, we appreciate it. I didn't shave either, but it's hard to see on this laptop.
Yeah, I didn't say either, Jamie. Come on, man.
My goatee, I mean, my beard's so white, it's hard to see it. Because my beard is snow white when I grow a beard. My mustache, last time I had a mustache, it had some color. But it was the only thing on my face that had any color at all. And it was mostly white, but there was some color in there. My beard used to be a dark red, believe it or not. It was a very dark red. Talking about that, I was when I was in the Navy, I was at Rosecrans, Rosecrans training there in San Diego. The dancing part, that's going to take a few more beers probably than singing. But it can be done. It can be done with enough beers. But
Yeah,
anyway,
Jamie, that'll take a few Red Horse beers.
But anyway, when I was there at Rosecrans, I don't think I was stationed there. I think I was just over there to go to the movies. I was in line. There was this girl in front of me with red hair. Now, like I said, my hair during the summer, going swimming a lot, would turn it blonde, but not my beard. My beard would always stay red. So I turned my back to her, and I started putting down red hair like, oh man, I'd kill myself if I had red hair. And I mean, I'm just going on better dead than red, and all that good happy stuff. And everybody that was behind me could tell I was bullshitting because they could see my red beard. And you can finally tell she's about ready to blow because something she said or whatever. So when I turned around and said what, she sees this big red bushy hair on my face, and she knew I was just trying to get a rise out of her, you know. So that was something that's kind of stuff I did when I was younger, stupid stuff. Try to have a little fun. But like I said, I just thought I got to make fun of red hair with this redhead in front of me. But yeah. Now you said, now what time do you got to get up to go to work tomorrow?
I got to be up at 7. I mean, I got to be there at 7.
All right, so you got to get up about 5:30.
Yeah.
And let's see, you're central, aren't you?
Yeah, Central Missouri.
So it's going on 10 there.
Something what?
It's going on 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I need to be getting off of here.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess we'll go ahead and shut this one down, people. After a few shots of Tanday rum, he'll be singing and dancing all night.
Yeah, that's what they sell that over there. 10 away rum. That's what my Uncle Kenny got when we were over there. We went to a beach resort over there, and that's what we drank.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll have a drink or two with you guys, but we have to see how I feel. Like I said, I mean, I may get sick the first time I get really drunk, you know. It's been years since I've been drunk. And I mean years. It's probably been, I probably hadn't really gotten drunk since 99.
Well, the only time I drink anymore is when I'm over there in the Philippines, because I'm in a different mindset when I'm over there. I'm just there to have
Well,
a
like I
good
said,
time. And
The last time I can remember actually getting drunk was in 1999 on my birthday. So that'll be 26 years next month since really got drunk,
right.
because I got a hotel room and spent the night there, but I don't drink and drive, and I don't like to drink by myself.
Right.
And most of my good friends, especially where I live now, they don't drink. And where I was living then, the bars that I could walk to, I didn't like. I really didn't care for them, because there was times when I would walk to a bar and get drunk, walk home or get a ride home. There were many times when I was living in Terre Haute, I would drive to the bar. If I got drunk, a friend would take me home, and I'd walk back the next day and get my car.
Matter of fact, the last time I drank was with this guy.
Well, like I said, I had, the last time I had a drink, I was by myself, but I was at a restaurant getting something to eat, and I got a rum and coke to go with my meal. And that was on my way back from Terre Haute. That was back in June, early July. I was on my way back from visiting my sisters in Indiana and my cousins and stuff. I was in Erie, Pennsylvania, at the hotel that I was staying at. They had a bar restaurant in the building, so I ordered my supper and had a drink. And if I knew how big that drink was going to be, I wouldn't have got it. I had a hard time finishing it, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, it wouldn't take too much for me to get drunk under the table, because, like I said, it's been over a year since I've had anything to drink. So,
Well, like I said, it won't take much at all for me. All right, Jamie, you take care, man. He says, I'm out. I'll talk soon. Keep your sticks on the ice, you guys. You're going to have to get me on the ice, because I don't ice skate. I don't play hockey. That's not me. Well, the ice skates, I got the ankles that always want to wobble. If you get
yeah, I always had that problem too. And the last time I tried to ice skate was when I was a little kid.
Yeah. Well, with roller skates, you had the 4 wheels. I could roller skate all right.
Right.
With the ice skate, when I tried to ice skate, my ankles kept. It's like, no thanks, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, that's what mine kept doing. They kept wanting to fold in, or
fold in or out. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell?
I never did try the hockey skates. The hockey skates had 2 blades. I don't know if that would be easier or not.
Yeah, it probably would be a little bit, I would think.
They're not real far apart, but there is 2, so it would be a little wider space to help hold your feet in place. So I would think it'd be easier. It's like I never tried inline skating for roller skates.
Right. Yeah.
I've always did the 4 wheels, It's been years since I've done any roller skating either, too. All right, then I think we'll go ahead and shut this one down, everybody. We've been going. By the time I get off the air, it'll be 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm like looking at
Oh, yeah.
the time here.
Like I said, I do this. I try to do this every Saturday because it's my entertainment, and I enjoy doing it. So,
right,
like I
man.
said, I want to thank you for coming. Appreciate
Yeah,
it,
good one,
man.
man. All right, take care till the next time.
Yeah, and hopefully, it won't be too long. We'll both be in the Philippines.
Yes, sir.
Everything goes right. All right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right.
All right, have a
Take
good.
care. All right, everybody. I want to thank you all for coming. I hope you have a great Sunday. Enjoy the week that's upcoming. And like I said, thanks for coming. I do have to get going. I've been talking a lot longer than I was planning on. Hope to see y'all next week. Take care of yourselves. Remember now, be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Plus, as always, try to have fun. Bye, everybody. Take care.